athlete than advertised. When you look at the Michigan quarterback on film, what type of quarterback do you see?
Joe Burrow.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
You feel me? You feel me? When you're playing against somebody, you have to give them the credit they deserve. And JJ, he's a very good athlete. When you look at him on film and things like that, it surprises you how much he actually does run. Like he scrambles, has his eyes down the field. Now obviously he ain't no Jay Mill or nothing like that, but when it comes time to making the right reads, making the right throw, he's a great decision maker, and he's a good athlete.
Joe Burrow, Brown, you weren't here for when he said that.
Well, I mean, look, Joe Burrow's senior year is infinitely beyond what McCarthy has done, but that doesn't mean they don't resemble one another. I could actually see that comparison.
Well, I could see Joe Burrow his next to last year.
Yeah, his junior
LSU.
year or the previous him coming out, yeah.
Because Joe Burrow is, and we saw this a lot more at LSU, very mobile and able to create with his feet.
And Burrow had far more around him in the skill. I mean, he had Jamar Chase, he had Justin Jefferson, Thaddeus Moss at tight end.
And it spread you out to where there's gaps for you to run.
Yeah, now I will say, I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a very good college running back. I mean, I think I would take Blake Corum over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But other than that, the rest of the skill goes to Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's being very nice there. Point of the matter is, J.J. McCarthy will have to have a huge game to beat Alabama.
Oh, Joe Burrow did too, by the way.
Joe Burrow did too. Most people do when they beat Alabama. The quarterbacks usually play pretty darn good. Top of the hour here. We're back with you again on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Time as we continue the road to Nashville and, of course, the road to the college football playoffs in Pasadena. Remember to like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, the bowl games get real today. We got some name brands playing, including an SEC game late night tonight. Well, it'll be SEC uniforms. Let me put it that way. According to reports, if you are a student at Texas A&M and are in the area tonight, and you could fit into any existing uniform, they could use you tonight.
Well, I mean, that's they've built their program history on that, right?
That's right. They need the 12th man, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th man to show up tonight.
I've got 13 Aggies out either via portal or opting out for the NFL draft.
Only 13?
I think that's 13 starters.
Oh, 13
starters. Starters?
That is different, yeah.
Yeah.
So 13 of 22 starters are not playing in this game.
I think I'm correct on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost as bad as Florida State.
Yeah, they're shorthanded tonight, Texas A&M. I don't know about point spreads or any of that. You have to go to lanceslock.com, lanceslock.com.
Well, I've got the point
Yeah,
spread.
the number's right around the pick right
Yeah.
now because, Ollie Gordon will play for Oklahoma State. Alan Bowman, your starting quarterback, will play for the Cowboys.
Well, I got Oklahoma State -3.
Yeah, I saw it 3.5 at
Yeah.
mybookie.ag.
Yeah, I was just saying I'll leave the picks on lanceslock.com for the professionals if you want to do the point spreads at mybookie.ag. I'm in an office pool where I'm tied for first right now, where it's just straight up pick the winner. Which isn't as easy to do, by the way,
not in the bowl game,
as you think it should be. But it's Oklahoma State to me, or as Furman says, it's Oklahoma State or pass for me tonight. Just a straight up play.
I can't convince you on A&M.
No. I just can't. I can't see it. It's a bridge too far for me.
I do not know how Lance is doing this. Lanceslock.com has a bowl season guarantee.
That's right.
What is the guarantee?
We have to be above 500 or you get your money back.
I do not know how Lance is doing it. I don't know how he's doing it because he's not just picking winners. He's picking winners against the spread.
I mean, this is going to come down to it. We're 4-3 right now. So
I think you've probably seen the last bowl you like at this point, right?
I was afraid to ask where we were. I mean, I thought he was setting us up for a 4-3 is a good place to be. That's on the winning side.
Do you know how hard that is right now? Like last night, Lance had given out Kansas, right? Ends up a great play. When Lance gave Kansas out, Kansas was favored 11.5 in the game.
Yep. Oh,
what happened?
When it went down to 8.
I went down to 7.
It got as low as 7.
Went down to 8 when I played UNLV money line. I was like, something's happening. I'm gonna take UNLV money line.
Yeah,
didn't work.
Did not work. I mean, I don't know how Lance is doing. I told him that this morning. I'm like, I don't know how you're doing it because you give out Kansas at 11, and it was like 2 hours before game time, it sunk to 7, right?
Yeah, and look, and I felt good about some of these bowls. Like we had Bowling Green yesterday, and that game dropped to +2.5. And I don't know if you guys, I got to watch a lot of bowls yesterday. And watching Cole Kramer make his first, he's a lifelong Minnesota fan. I don't know if you guys heard the story.
No, I did not.
But he starts at quarterback. His final game, he had left the team. And because their starting quarterback, the Greek dude, goes into the portal, PJ Fleck reaches back out. This guy had gone to plan his wedding and said, hey, look, we really need you to start a quarterback.
He's going to plan his wedding.
Yeah.
Hey, Cole, you want to row that boat one more time?
Hey, there was no future. Like, he wasn't transferring out. He wasn't going to the NFL. He was actually going to plan a wedding in Arizona. And PJ Fleck called him and said, hey, we need you one more game. So he gets to start. He throws for 26 yards, but 3 total touchdowns, and they end up winning the game. And all they did the entire game was show his girlfriend, his soon-to-be fiancé.
Bob says Cole's fiancé.
Oh,
check mark.
She got a green check?
Much better than his game on field.
Tyler, I hate to put you on the spot here in place of Rockstar. Can you look for Cole's fiancé? Just put Minnesota quarterback's fiancé.
Yeah.
I bet it pops up. Google's an amazing search engine.
She is strong for a Midwestern Minnesota girl, no doubt about it.
Minnesota QB fiancé in the sea.
The other thing I learned during the broadcast yesterday of Bowling Green in Minnesota was why PJ Fleck wears a tie. And I've seen a ton of Minnesota games. I've never heard this explained.
Oh, my. I mean, I haven't seen the quarterback yet. He's wearing a helmet.
Katie.
Yep.
Here we go over here. Different pictures.
Well,
that was the one yesterday.
Yeah. Go second picture.
She's got a little Rachel Lundberg in her.
A little bit.
She really does.
Yeah.
Former CBS 42 traffic reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does have a little lumbar in her. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Very good. Cole Ramsey.
Yeah, so
Cole Kramer.
Cole Kramer, yeah.
Cole Ramsey.
But I mean, how
my
cool
buddy
is that? The
from
guy
Texas.
was in the program for 5 years, never started the game, and gets to come in and win a bowl game in Detroit.
That's really good.
Scott had done his homework already. Scott's already got one up.
Little Jamie Erdahl.
Maybe.
Yeah, right here on the top. Look, Jamie Erdahl and her.
Yeah, no, not even close.
Okay. Lance has shut that right now.
Yeah, I don't think we would even be talking about this if it was Erdahl.
Wow.
Well, do you think we would? But PJ Fleck, do you guys know why he wears a tie?
I don't know why he wears a tie.
I've seen a million of these games. Don't know any idea.
Yeah, it's it goes back to his brother. Something with his brother.
Nope, not even close.
Okay.
So the man that cut him from the NFL, and then the man who immediately hired him, both of those guys wore ties. So he was a San Francisco 49er coming out of playing at Michigan State, and he was cut by Mike Nolan. And then he got his first job as a coach from Jim Tressel.
Oh,
so as
tie
an
guys.
homage to those guys,
Interesting.
he wears a tie in every game.
All right.
Matthew says she looks like Sadie Robertson from Duck Dynasty.
There's a little Sadie Robertson there. I can see that.
A little bit. Kevin goes, I had a lot of Catherine Webb flashbacks watching that game.
Yeah, so I wasn't watching. So they're saying the announcer went like deep dive on this girl.
Like
You ever think
Chardonnay
about
just
it?
said it was creepy, and I thought the same. And Dustin Fox, former Ohio State Buckeye, was doing color, and he said, man, he's like, I got to tell you, you know a lot about this girl. He said this on the broadcast.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said, well, I will tell you, there's an engagement site called Knot, Tying the Knot or something. And he said, that's where I found out all this information. Whether or not that's true, I don't know.
So let's move on to the next play, Dustin.
I mean, this was how weird it was. You remember What's Brittany Doing with Her Life?
Yeah.
This dude in the middle of the broadcast said, what is the best first date you ever went on?
He asked that to the analyst?
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there going, where in the hell is this guy going? And
To the analyst?
Yeah, so Dustin Fox says...
Sounds like a question you asked right before you interviewed the Huntsville mayor.
Yeah, he said, I went to... Oh, my gosh, I forgot what he said his first date was. And he was like, that's pretty cool. But their first date was...
Oh, no, he knew their first date?
Oh, he knew their first date. It was playing Mario Kart.
I like Mario Kart.
He was like Mario Kart. And I was just like, this is really, really strange. But when you watch a shitty bowl game like that, I guess you got to entertain the crowd somehow,
That's
right?
what you're going to get.
Well, I mean, I do a lot of show notes every day. So, I mean, being over-prepared is not a bad thing, but it can get a little creepy, I guess, when it's the, walk-on basically quarterback's fiance.
Oh, well, I mean, what their first date was, you know.
Hey, so the Rice quarterback, was he like playing high school yesterday and they asked him to play in the bowl game because he was a Pez dispenser?
Well, I mean, he only threw 5 picks.
I mean, God, that was awful.
Did somebody throw 6 picks the night before? No, 6 touchdowns from Jason Bean.
Jason Bean, but he threw 3 picks. Yeah. I mean, these bowl games
it's wild.
Extremely, next level crazy.
So here's our, remember to just decide to ride before you drive right here. Scoreboard for today. Here's the games, 4 of them. Virginia Tech and Tulane, North Carolina, West Virginia, Louisville and USC, and Texas A&M and Oklahoma State. We'll get to all those games and look at what we did yesterday in the bowls coming up in this segment. By the way, Alabama and all the playoff teams arrived on site. We'll hear from we'll try to hear from some folks a little bit later on in the show. Disneyland today is the official welcome event out at the Rose Bowl, 4 o'clock local time, 2 p.m. Pacific Coast time for the dignitaries at the Rose Bowl, the welcome event at Disneyland today. Player availability starts tomorrow out in Pasadena for Alabama and Michigan. That update on what's going on in the bowls brought to you by our friends at Adams Beverages. Adams Beverage, Anheuser-Busch, Uber, and Mothers Against Drunk Driving joining forces this holiday season to help end alcohol-impaired driving. All you have to remember is you can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to decide to ride. Go online to decidetoride.com, decidetoride.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Adams Beverages, and the next round. Kansas last night, in that game y'all started talking about, gets the win over UNLV, 49-36. A lot of points in that one. Their first bowl win since 2008. And they got a little momentum going into next year in the new look Big 12 because Devin Neal, their big running back, says he's coming back next year.
Well, not only Devin Neal, Jalen Daniels, who battled health all year, one of the best quarterbacks in college football. He's coming back. Jason Bean, who is a quality backup, who has multiple starts over the last couple of years, he's coming back. Luke Grimm, you saw him with 3 touchdowns last night. He's coming back. And the most important thing is Lance Leipold is coming back to coach this team. So I think Kansas, when you start to look at the Big 12 now with the departures of Oklahoma and Texas, they might be your favorite.
Yeah, I mean, they could be the media pick to win it, maybe the betting favorite. I don't know. It's a new look.
We might see them in a college football playoff next year.
I mean, it wouldn't stun me.
It's a weird league. I mean, are you going to have a good feel on who to pick?
No, heavens no.
Because, I mean, Utah is going to be in there with Cam Rising back, and we all have respect.
Yeah.
Not as much as LT does for the Utah program.
I mean, Colorado's going to be in there. I would imagine Colorado probably gets some votes.
Yeah.
I think your votes will be, I think it will be Utah 1, probably Kansas 2, and then maybe Kansas State.
Yeah. Kansas State will be in there. Oklahoma State.
Ollie Gordon will be back.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, it feels like the most unpredictable of the leagues once Texas and Oklahoma leave.
Yeah. I mean, because I think next year, ACC.
It was pretty unpredictable already with Texas and Oklahoma.
Florida State.
I'll tell you who I would like is if Jaden DeLauro was coming back Arizona. I might pick them.
Well, I mean,
Fafita's coming back.
Yeah, Fafita's
So
better.
you would. So Fafita.
Yeah, Arizona.
I mean, Jed Fish had him top 15.
Yeah, and I heard an interview with him. I think it was being replayed on Christmas Eve when I was riding around. I don't know where it's from, but this was his freshman class when he got the job, and they've only lost 3 people since that freshman class that he convinced to come there at first year. Really good recruiting class. Only 3 people have left through the portal. They've all decided to stay together all the way through their time in Arizona.
That might be the most impressive thing I've heard.
That's right. But freshman, sophomore, this was their sophomore years. They'll all be juniors next year, and they're committed to doing this through their senior year and getting better and better. They want to write their motto is they're going to do a 30 for 30 about our class someday, about Arizona, how we turned it around and went from I think they were 1-11 to what they were in their first year to this past year and coming up next year. So that's a good call. Arizona may be in the mix.
Very unpredictable, but one thing we are guaranteed is we will have new blood in the college football playoff.
Absolutely, because it will not be Texas representing the Big 12.
Or Oklahoma.
What's going to be odd is when those guys, they see it all the way through, they get to their senior year, and Jed Fish takes another job.
Yeah.
They're the ones that stuck around. Jed Fish is like, look, guys, I appreciate all y'all did, but LSU wants to hire me because Brian Kelly's going to Michigan.
Back to Kansas.
The 30 for 30 will be named Broken Promises.
That's right, yeah.
I don't know I can't remember the last time I saw a team commit 18 penalties in a game and win by double digits.
That is hard to do.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, over 200 yards of penalties.
What happened? Why did the point spread keep dropping like that?
Just a couple of opt-outs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not going to play anything today at MyBookie. I'm not going to play anything at MyBookie.ag.
Yep.
Then I was like, the NBA is going tonight. I'm going to throw a little teaser out there on almost every game. I didn't do the Hawks game, but every other NBA game, I put into a teaser.
Right.
And
so that's where you can move it 10 points for those that don't know.
No, not a teaser. I'm sorry.
This is good. This is why I think regulated wagering is the way to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you weren't playing at mybookie.ag, you'd be playing with the local bookmaker, and they'd be like, I don't have time to waste on your $10 plays.
Yeah.
So this would turn into $100 plays.
That's right. That's right. And it wouldn't be money I had.
And the sermon this coming Sunday from Pastor Maggie would be about, things that you don't have, that you chase.
I've already given her opening line for the sermon this week.
Oh, I bet she loves this.
It's got to have something to do with a parlay, right?
No, it's about the 3 wise men. It's her topic that she has to preach on this week.
Is that us?
And my opening line for her, if she uses it. So stop me if you've heard this before. 3 wise men walk into a barn.
That's very good.
You get some laughter there.
Yeah.
It'll be. I said you got to pause there because it'll be a few chuckles.
Yeah.
And then it'll build as everybody listens.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty good opening line.
Yeah. Of course, now anybody that goes to your church that's watching the show,
they're prepared.
Right.
You'll get a second laugh out of that.
Well, I mean, if I were there, I would give the fake laugh just to be courteous. Since you've already stolen,
You're pretty good at that, by the way.
well, somebody's got to be on this show. It's going to be awkward silence if not.
Yeah, when you're out, when Dunaway tries to do it, it's just not the same.
I know. I mean, I get killed for it, but y'all aren't going to like the awkward silence if I don't do it.
Come on,
my
Scott.
man Scott Banks from Denver.
Come on, Scott.
What do you say? Crickets?
Chicken cock, by the way. Shout
Crickets.
out.
Come on, Scott. It's good. If you're in a Methodist church, we've lit a candle, we've sung a couple of songs,
Well, hey,
and a very attractive pastor
I'll
gets
tell
up
it-
there and says, "So stop me if you heard this one before. 3 wise men walk into a barn." That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good one, Scott.
You all have a drummer?
We do.
Hey,
Did he stay up there doing rim shot?
You remember Taco Mac on the south side? So it is where Jimmy Nick's is now. Do you guys remember that at all? You probably
Yes,
don't.
I do.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep.
Well, they had before anybody had a beer selection, they had a great beer selection. So we would go there, but we would go there on Monday night sometimes, and they had like a wing special. But I was with Scott one night, and we're sitting there, and there was some poor guy that had been invited from somebody else's friend group. And it's a big Monday night game, and of course we're chasing because we had lost all weekend or whatever.
It's get even Monday, right?
And dude goes to kick the field goal, and it looks dead on. And this guy's like, "Oh, that's I forgot exactly what he said, but he was like, dead down the center or something." And it just goes and tails off to the right. And Scott's like, "You son of a bitch!" Starts cussing the guy. The guy's not even. We don't even know him really. He's like, "You got to know better. You can't jinx it."
Bryce says, you guys see the guy that hit the $500,000 on the 14-leg $5 player prop parlay? I think he played 14 guys to score a touchdown in the NFL. Is that what it was?
Yep.
And all 14 guys scored.
And Christian McCaffrey was going in the last game was going to be the one that decided whether he hit it or not. Turned $5 into, I think it was $429,000.
I would feel pretty good McCaffrey being the last guy, considering he scores in every freaking game.
Yeah. But my parlay last night, the only one that didn't hit was the Timberwolves over the Thunder.
Oh, damn, Dunaway.
Man.
But then I jumped on the money line because I was
course
like,
you did.
well, I wasn't going to bet anything, but since I've done this NBA parlay, what's happening with this game? And it was dropping, and I'm like, I'm going to jump on the little UNLV and the over.
Literally, the NBA has been like this with these late fluctuation of the numbers based on guys just opting out for, minute reduction. And so the NBA has been like the bowl season right now.
Unpredictable.
Yep.
Texas State gets a win yesterday. In front of 20, this was an odd announcement in the press box. They played the game at SMU.
Right. Gerald Ford Stadium, not the president.
As they always do. And they announced the attendance at 26,005 and some change. And then they said the largest crowd this season at Gerald R. Ford Stadium.
Oh, wow. That's a shot at SMU.
And then that's what the Texas State people were. They were like, it took Texas State to come in here to give SMU, and SMU's like 11-2.
Oh yeah, SMU's good.
Yeah,
it's a weird program. It's a very small school, very wealthy school. But I've always wondered, like, I don't know, you guys remember when the Pony Express was killing it, and they were playing
Arlington,
the old Cotton Bowl, weren't they?
Yeah, the old in Irving at the old Dallas Cowboys Stadium. But I don't remember that like filling the stadium up. I remember still thinking, why are they playing in such a big stadium?
I think it was a good crowd. But not packed. You're exactly right.
I just remember seeing empty seats, like and
like especially end zones.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, well, they're playing in the Cowboys Stadium. Obviously, they need a bigger stadium. As a kid, this is what I'm thinking, right? But they don't really need a bigger stadium. The place is not full. So, I mean, I think it has always been a tough sell in Dallas.
Right.
A lot of options in Dallas, and SMU football is going to, I mean, it's a tough place to get a foothold for them. I don't know if going to the ACC will help that at all. I mean, I guess if Florida State's coming in, you got a shot at selling out that stadium.
That's right. That's right.
Or Clemson.
If you get a couple of teams that travel well, Clemson with their $2 bills.
Wake comes in. Ain't nobody going to go see SMU in Wake.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to affect them.
By the way, at that game yesterday, headsets didn't work for the coaches.
Okay.
And they ran out of beer before halftime.
Well, 28,000 people, they weren't prepared.
I guarantee that number went from 28 to 14.
Look at the coolers.
Yeah, empty.
This is update. All alcohol in Gerald D. Ford Stadium has been consumed, and it wasn't halftime when they were already running low.
How many times do you think the conversation, hey, you want to go across the street to the bar and watch the second half?
Hey, Brown took me to we were on a bowl trip.
Rockstar's not even here to make fun of us.
Yeah, to a really good Mexican restaurant virtually across the street from
it's on campus, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's right on the edge of campus. It was good. Yeah, it was a good meal.
Great meal.
I would imagine, I'm just going to go book by cover.
Yep.
Book by cover. and say the Texas State fans probably get after it a little bit.
I would say. I mean, they're the Bobcats, right?
The Bobcats, San Marcos, Texas. I'm going to say they probably drink a beer or two.
Yeah. Disappointed the Methodists didn't have more beer for them, though, right there on campus.
Right.
But Brian Holloway,
Moderation.
linebacker, 2 pick sixes, first player in the FBS to do that in over 10 years.
Well, I mean, God, the Rice guy was serving them up.
Yep.
Typically, don't see a linebacker with 2 pick sixes, do you?
Hey, the stadium ran out of beer before the Rice quarterback ran out of interceptions, for sure.
And then Minnesota beat Bowling Green. Those were the games yesterday.
The TJ Finley reclamation project's pretty crazy, though.
Oh, what a year he had.
I know.
Everyone's talking about it. Turn on a bowl game and see a former Auburn quarterback have success. That's what they're saying over there.
Finley was okay. He's had a good year. He was okay last night. It was their defense. Bobcats' defense is what the difference was.
But Finley was on the trash heap. I mean, leaving Auburn, that guy was on the trash heap, and he at least went to Texas State and turned it around a little bit.
Yeah, Bobby makes a great point. How is joining the ACC going to help SMU get FSU to play in their stadium? FSU may not be there long.
Yeah, that deal ain't over yet. Y'all just wait. When Florida State looks at their options, there's a chance they're still in the ACC.
Yeah, never an SEC bid coming their way. We talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
Was it LT and me, you and me, or Taylor and me on Friday that – Bobby Bowden had first crack at SEC expansion in Florida State. When the guys at the SEC decided we're going to expand, the first person they called was Florida State and Bobby Bowden because they were kicking back in the day, remember?
Oh, yeah.
They were kicking.
And they were an independent.
And Bobby had a choice, and he said, we're going to choose the ACC over the SEC.
Yeah. Which, by the way, was not a terrible choice at the time.
Well, no, it was easy wins.
Wins, and he kept playing for national championships.
Yeah. And as I said on the show, I said that's an upper right-hand drawer for me at the commissioner's office. Whoever's the commissioner of the SEC, they open that drawer. Florida State had their shot in 1990. Do not ever offer them a bid.
This is Roy Kramer's handwriting. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Roy or whoever was before Roy. So I don't know if Florida State ever gets a bid. When we come back, Elijah McAllister joins the show, Auburn captain from Nashville. A little tease on her way to start her coverage on our platforms today up in Nashville, covering Auburn. Taylor will be on site. Elijah McAllister is next. The show is being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. What a year at Michelson it has been.
Yeah, make the phone call today. Schedule that consultation, 205-969-8100. Make the call that I made over 2 decades ago. I had the 20/200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. I still have 20/15 vision, better than 20/20 after the procedure. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with that free consultation. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow Sean Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of peace of mind with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Why risk shopping with cash when you can enjoy the safety and convenience of shopping with their contactless credit card? With a Legacy credit card, you can enjoy incredible perks like rates as low as 8.9% APR, no annual fees, and no balance transfer fees. But that's not all. Earn fantastic rewards for travel and merchandise through Scoreboard Rewards. Apply online today at LegacyCreditUnion.com to make your holiday shopping not just safer, but smarter. APR annual percentage rate. Certain restrictions may apply. Subject to approval. Federally insured by the NCUA.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide pre-packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
All right, we continue on the next round. Elijah McAllister joins us throughout the college football season. The Auburn linebacker with us, courtesy of Craneworks and Rentalworks. The Auburn big guy says rent from the big dog, Craneworks and Rentalworks. He joins us from Nashville, site of Auburn's bowl game against Maryland. What is up, Elijah? How are you today?
Doing great. How you doing?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. This is kind of like at least I view it this way, kind of a weird, neat, I don't know how to describe it, full circle deal for you. Your career starts in Nashville and you'll play your final college game in Nashville. Kind of an interesting full circle moment.
Yeah, it's funny. When I transferred, I thought I, wouldn't be back here as often. And, funny enough, I'm playing, in this city that I started and played my first college game at twice in a year's time. So it's just a unique experience for me, but it's nice because I have my whole family here, and they know the area pretty well, and they'll be able to wrap up my college career at a stadium that's in a city that I know well.
Going back to August, Auburn was one of those unpredictable teams. We really didn't know what to think of, Hugh Freeze in year one with this transition. How would you describe this final year for you?
Yeah, I think, the final year for me and, the first year of this, Coach Freeze era has been a year of growth. But also a year of understanding where this place could be in a year's time and what it could become, because we've shown what we can put on tape with pretty much a group of guys from all over the world, and really, only came together in a year, coaching staff, players, and everything in between. Feel like we put some good stuff out on tape, in this year with the bowl game win, we'll put a stamp on this season and allow the trajectory to be positive for the next few years.
Okay, our Taylor Korn is at the practice facility later today at Vanderbilt. She'll be covering practices and stuff all week and leading into the game at the Music City Bowl. She's been looking at Maryland a little bit on tape. What do you see of Maryland on tape, this team that comes in from the Big Ten, when you watch them?
Yeah, the Big Ten, it's a very good conference, as everybody knows. They're a team that, does a good job throwing the ball around. Obviously, their quarterback, is the leading Big Ten in passing yardage in history, and although he's not going to be suiting up, there's a reason for that. They got good offensive scheme, good coaches, and your receivers can make some plays. So they look really good on tape, and we're excited to play against them and represent our conference.
Elijah McAllister is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, and he joins us each week courtesy of Craneworks and Rentalworks. The big guy says rent from the big dog, Craneworks and Rentalworks. How tough is that to prepare, though, when all their tape is one quarterback, and then 2 weeks before the game, you find out he's not playing?
Yeah, it's tough. You almost want to you go for the guy that you have tape on, because you kind of know how to game plan and know how to go about these things. Whereas, someone who's unknown, it's a little tougher to game plan for. You look at, quarterbacks, and they usually come in, backup, comes and takes over for a starter. The first couple of games, he's rolling and dealing because, guys don't really know how to game plan for and play against them. But we got really good coaching staff here. As you guys know, Coach Roberts done a great job throughout the year game planning and making sure we're right and ready in the right places. And, he's found some ways to continue to scout and put us in the right positions for this week.
So you've played football a long time, and I apologize if you've said this, but this is your first bowl experience, right?
No, it's just actually my second. So I went to the Texas Bowl with Vanderbilt. My first year, we played Baylor. That was a unique experience. We lost, but this is my first bowl game actually playing in, though, so it'll be good. So
okay, so what kind of things have you guys done outside of bowl prep?
Yeah, so we just got here yesterday, so it hasn't really been too much to do so far. We're in an Opryland hotel, which is nice. They got a big things to do around here. It's a huge hotel, so we just kind of been hanging out with the team, doing that experience in the city and enjoying what it has to offer. We'll get into some more stuff later in the week, But right now it's just been kind of just hanging out with each other, getting settled in and enjoying the city.
A lot of fans want to know, like, what's curfew? Do you guys get some downtime tonight, non-scheduled events that you can take the guys out and, show them the best country music places in Nashville or something like that?
Yeah, I was able to do a little bit of that last night, and just me, obviously, experiencing this city and knowing it very well. I was able to show some guys around what places I like and different things to do. But it was fun just because we don't really have a lot of free time usually throughout the season, and everything's tailored focused to the game, and our focus still on the game this week. But having a little time to just get out and be around the guys and just that team bonding experience is nice for us.
Listen, I know how it is in the spring and summer up there. Did you see one bachelorette party last night out on the town?
No, I didn't. Honestly, I think it's too cold for them right now. It's a little too chilly for them to be outside, but probably Saturday there'll be a few bachelorette parties and stuff. Still during the week, Christmas and the weather, but usually there are down here.
That pedal bar will get the juices flowing.
I've seen them in some bad weather. I've seen them fight through, Elijah.
Yeah, exactly. We try to stay away from the pedal bar because we got enough bikes and stuff in here. We do enough conditioning. We like to stay away from that.
Is there a place you would tell your teammates, "Hey, tourist trap, don't mess with it. Don't do that in Nashville"?
Man, not really. I mean, I think everything's a lot different. Like, there's different things to do and different places to experience. I just say for them just to, I don't know, maybe some of them don't do karaoke because they can't sing that well. That's probably something I'd probably say. But guys like to get up there and sing and party in the USA, different things. So I'd probably say stay away from the karaoke because you might get some tomatoes or some booze up there. But other than that, it should be good.
Party in the USA.
Did you just go party in the USA?
Yeah. No, that's a classic. Everybody knows that. Usually a little upbeat. Everybody can sing along.
By the way, there's normally, and I don't know if you guys have this on the schedule, but there's normally an eating contest at these deals where you go to a restaurant and it's like a wing eating contest or steak eating contest or whatever. Who would be your pick from Auburn? Like, if you're like, okay, we got an eating contest, we got to put this guy forward. Who's the guy?
Okay, Jeremiah Wright. He's an offensive lineman here. He plays guard. He's from Selma, Alabama. He's my pick to win an eating contest if we have one. Because he loves food. One, he knows good food, and he loves to eat. He's probably about 330, 340, so he's my pick.
So, like, if we're just going number of wings, any idea what he could knock out? Could he do 100 wings?
Oh, yeah, I think you can do 100 wings for sure.
Is there one food that if you find out that is the food in the eating contest, you're like, nope, I got it. This is me. I'm a senior. I'm going to go seniority. I'm taking this.
I mean, I could do a pizza. Like, if it's a good pizza, me being from the Northeast, if it's a good pizza, I could do a lot of slices. I don't know.
Yeah, but what I have found, like Tyler Booker is with us each week. I don't know if you know Tyler well, but he's from Connecticut originally. And what we have found is, no offense, but you guys from up there, your pizza's different than ours. And you've got we're barbecue snobs down here. You guys are pizza snobs up there.
I'm real particular with where I get my pizza from and how I eat it. It's special to me. And he knows from Connecticut, like Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, pizza's different up there.
So it's got to be really thin, right? And do you fold it when you take a bite?
Then you fold it. It's usually a little crispy, depending on where you get it from, like the bar pie. It's nice. It's really good. I enjoy it. I got to go back to Jersey to get some.
Yeah. Sure. No. I like it that way too. But what Booker told us it was something in broccoli.
Chicken and broccoli.
Chicken and broccoli.
White.
On pizza.
I think it's a white pizza with chicken and broccoli.
Yeah.
Look
I like
at
that.
that.
And apparently the difference is the water in the crust.
Yeah, he tried to sell us on the water's better up there or something.
I don't even know how they make it. Maybe it is because I don't know, by the ocean. Who knows? But I eat it. So
I eat it. Elijah, it has been a fantastic year talking to you. This is your final visit with us. We greatly appreciate it, and we wish you all the best against Maryland and moving forward beyond that. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much for having me, as always. War Eagle.
All right, buddy. Take care. That is Elijah McAllister, the Auburn linebacker, who's joined us each week, courtesy of Craneworks and Rental Works. The big guy says, look for the big dog and rent from the big dog. We got a little breaking news. Do we need? I know we probably need a commercial here.
Oh, we don't. I just get emotional this time of year. I don't like things when they end, and that was it with Elijah McAllister.
Wow.
I don't like change. I'm not a change guy.
He's been really good. I like Elijah. Seems like a really good kid.
Can't get attached to these NIL guys.
That's right.
You can't.
They're literally limited visits.
Part of me thought to myself, I'd be really good in college, like a college professor or something, because you always feel young because a new class is coming in. but I would get emotionally attached too. I'd be sad every time a class leaves too. Be a horrible roller coaster for me.
Yeah.
I like it steady. I'm never a roller coaster.
Yeah, never Jim.
Yeah. Okay. Breaking news here.
Well, and we've discussed this a good bit, and I think this is the right move for Tennessee. Nico Iamaleava is starting the Citrus Bowl against Iowa, according to multiple reports. I think first reported by Austin Price.
You know what that does?
Who affects the point spread, I'm sure, covers Tennessee for On 3 Sports.
No, but to me, that makes this game really exciting.
I agree. I'm more interested now.
Because, I was going to be invested in this game, especially on their defensive side, and it is one of the best defenses in college football. Say what you want. We make jokes about Brian Ferentz and that terrible offense. This defense is legitimate, though. And so now you get your first start against a really good defense, and this kind of sets the table moving forward, in this era for Tennessee. So if I'm a Tennessee fan, I'm excited about it. Just as a college football fan, I'm excited to watch this kid get his first start.
Yeah. The problem, though, is Jalen Wright and now Jabari Small have opted out of the game for Tennessee.
Yeah, but Squirrel White will still be playing, right?
Yeah. Dylan Sampson, who probably was their second best performing running back, in my opinion, will get most of the carries now. So some opt-outs to go with that offense. But as I told you, if I'm not in the playoffs, let me see a little slice of the future. This excites me.
Yeah, Tennessee, by the way, currently an 8-point favorite. We'll monitor that at mybookie.ag to see how that changes.
I am really surprised, and I've told this story before. 2009, and this is going to be ironic if this happens again to Texas, but sitting in the Rose Bowl, and when Colt McCoy went out, Texas fans were bitching and complaining. Mac Brown, we dominated some games this year, and we never played Garrett Gilbert. And so this guy's not ready for this. And he actually played well. But Tennessee, different situation. But why this kid only has 26 attempts the entire year
it's crazy.
Blows me away.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. That developing news brought to you by our friends with Coca-Cola. This holiday season, we asked you to help feed families by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. Thank you to all of you that did. You can still swing by Piggly Wiggly and get more details about how you can help the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. They provide prepackaged holiday meals this time of year. You can make your donations right there at your local pig. Visit thepigbeham.com, thepigbeham.com, or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. The real magic of the season from our friends at Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola.
I predict that there will be massive overreaction either way on Nico making this start. If he struggles against Iowa's defense, I think you'll have a lot of people like,
and I honestly don't think the number will move.
Yeah, and if he kills them, I think you'll have a lot of people that are like, is Tennessee a sneaky college football playoff pick?
That's what Zach is saying in the chat room. Zach is saying this makes this game a lot more interesting to him and to a lot of people. And I would watch as a fan of if you're an SEC fan, you watch and see, okay, what does Tennessee have at quarterback next year?
But, Iowa, we just talked to Elijah about this when Maryland's backup, right? All their films on Talia. God, I keep doing that, on Talia. And you just haven't seen their backup a lot. Lance just told you, Nico Iamaleava's got 26 attempts. Like, Phil Parker, Iowa's defensive coordinator, is probably going to have to be a little base early on, right, and kind of fill this whole thing out.
Yeah. Is he a runner?
Yeah. Or you go the other way, and you're just like, we're going to light this kid up early and see how he reacts. And a lot of times when you choose to light a kid up, one band is going to play, and that's a problem for Iowa because if it's Rocky Top playing, you may have already lost the game. 7-0, Iowa's already in trouble in that game.
Yeah, and I think he can run a little bit.
Yeah.
Matt says, not breaking news to him. He saw yesterday Joe Milton announced he was sitting out yesterday. By the way, on the other side of the coin, Iowa...
Was he going to a job fair?
Iowa linebacker Jay Higgins says not only is he playing in this game, he's coming back next year to play for Iowa to give them a fighting shot at that 12-team playoff. So there's Milton's announcement from yesterday. He's a VFL, Vol for life, he says. He at one point was a Hokie, right?
No, he was a Michigan Wolverine.
All right.
Probably be in a better situation as being a backup for the Wolverines going to a college football playoff.
You're thinking of Hendon Hooker. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I was thinking of Hendon Hooker, who was a Hokie before he came there.
At least you have a shot at a ring if he was back up in Michigan.
So Milton is out, and I guess you opt out like that because he's the NFL, right?
He thinks because he's going to be able to throw an orange 100 feet or whatever, 100 yards.
Yeah.
He ain't playing in the NFL.
I want to. Why am I standing? It's become a thing in the chat room. I've got tight hamstrings. I thought I addressed this on the show already.
You did.
So I'm trying to stand up more. this year.
Yeah, and he's not going to do anything about this. He's going to bitch and complain because it's been months, it seems like. So, I would probably go get this taken care of.
I swung by our friend's non-sponsor yesterday that was from our sponsor in Alabaster. Sent me to a rehab facility. I was by there yesterday.
Okay, well, good. So we're in rehab. Jimmy's in rehab.
Yeah, but I do need a good needle to get me on that plane tomorrow. So if anybody wants to give me a Toradol shot or something,
I'm sure you can chew one of your after hours, and that'll that'll
relax me.
Yeah, get you situated just right.
I'm worried about the flight. That's my concern. Is that I don't like to move a lot on a plane. I just like to sit, close my eyes, and hope we get there okay. Get off the plane, and then
we are on the same flight, right?
Yeah, we are, and there is a layover in Dallas. We're obviously not flying direct. Our showtime would not allow us to hit the Vegas direct.
Do we have a Wicked Weed Bar?
Potentially, we could do a show for Vegas, especially if Jimmy's on Toradol. I wouldn't mind doing a show in Dallas. So I'm just saying, halfway through the trip, you will at least get to walk around in the Dallas airport. So that's good. And it's not a bad flight to Dallas. What's that, an hour, maybe hour and a half?
An hour and a half, probably.
Yeah, I've done that flight. That's an easy flight.
The kind of exciting thing about this trip is it seems like our other trips were planned better. It seems like this one could be incredibly surprising in a good way, or possibly a bad way.
No, maybe it just ends up being the best trip ever because we haven't overplanned it.
Like, I have no idea where we're eating, where we're going, actually where we're staying. I mean, we've got a place booked, but
it just dawned on me I didn't turn in an expense report from Atlanta.
I didn't really spend that much. I was just going to eat it.
Just that one.
I mean, we had one meal. That was
one
it.
Meal?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just eat that then.
I mean, I was going to eat that meal. See, the way I look at that now, it was different when I didn't own part of the company. When somebody in New York was stroking those checks, I was like, I'm turning everything in.
Yeah, that's my point. I'm paying for it one way or the
other.
Yeah,
when I'm part owner of the company, I'm like, I was going to eat that meal either way. I'll just go ahead.
We are going to do In-N-Out though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that may be all I eat.
Yeah.
I may be at the In-N-Out challenge. Just all I eat when I'm out there is
In fact, I learned this summer there is one. It is the first restaurant you see when you exit the LAX property.
Oh, look, they're all over now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the first thing you see is an In-N-Out. And our plane landed, we get our rental car, we drive out of the parking deck, and you see that In-N-Out line wrapped around the building.
Yeah, because that's the first one.
And that's what I told my wife. I was like, you got so many people that got off the plane and like, first thing I'm doing in LA is eating In-N-Out.
There it is.
Boom, right there by the airport.
Smart planning.
Yeah, that's a little too quick, though. You know?
It wasn't for some people.
Lunsford, quote, planned better, a.k.a. the back room just found out they're leaving tomorrow after the show. How did they just find out?
I'm sorry y'all just found that out. We've only talked about it forever.
Did any of the three of y'all ever tell us that fact?
I think we've said it on the air. Do y'all listen to the show?
Did anybody
back
tell us Rockstar was going to be out today?
Yes, he said it 1,000 times, and it's on the calendar in here, and the calendar on our phone.
Nope.
Listen, don't come in here.
I don't even have a calendar on my phone.
Don't go dirty laundry. Don't go dirty laundry.
Yeah, and I didn't hear Rockstar say it yesterday. I mean, I asked Brown, I said, is Rockstar out today? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he only said it 1 million times in text form on the 2 different calendars.
By the way, Brett, who's one of our listeners, says he knew we were leaving tomorrow.
Because you probably told him in the studio Friday when I was out sick, as you can tell by my voice right now.
Okay, well, I mean, I can't help it. You were out
just because
sick.
you tell Brett and don't tell your actual
staff
staff
members. Let me ask you this. We have said 1 million times we are doing our show from the Doghouse Saloon in Vegas on Friday.
You said that yesterday. And so that didn't mean you're leaving tomorrow.
No,
we said it.
We said it last Wednesday and Thursday when I was there.
I wasn't here. I was out sick.
I mean, so you're holding us responsible.
Every day, everybody back here is asking, when are they leaving? When are they leaving?
In fact, we
said
if
I know when they're leaving.
In fact, we have left. So we have said it so many times where we're doing the show on Friday that Forrester has a video clip of where we're doing the show on Friday. Hit the video.
Oh, wow. I know you're doing the show
We're
Friday.
doing the Doghouse Saloon.
I haven't seen this video.
Friday.
Yeah.
Hype video.
Every time
I haven't seen this video. He's not even paying attention to the show he's on. Look, I didn't say you're not doing the show Friday. I just said I didn't know when you were leaving.
Well, what do you think? You think we're going to do the show Friday for Vegas if we don't leave Thursday?
Let's leave today.
My God, have some common sense.
You're the smartest person up here.
I know.
No, I'm a damn simple mind.
No. Ashley's right. For a bunch of men, a lot of bitching. And I told people, I was like, I work with a lot of guys, but boy, it is a lot of bitching.
Yep.
I mean, we're not going to.
When are you coming back?
We're not going to leave on Wednesday.
Well, that's an unknown.
Yeah.
Okay, exactly.
Wednesday after the show.
We're not going to leave on Wednesday.
When are you coming back?
We're
That's
not going to
an
leave
unknown.
on Wednesday after the show today and not do a show on Thursday.
Yeah.
Well,
what would you have done?
Could have
Lunsford,
been traveling. I don't know.
Lunsford, is your Tide going to win? That depends on when we come back.
I don't know.
There is
We
some
could go
debate
straight to
on
Hunt.
going straight
Yep.
to Houston.
Yep. I am a no
I
on
don't
that.
know. My
Yeah.
wife's going to the game. It's not very good, so probably going to be a loss.
We'll be back. Me and Brown will. Dunaway might go straight to
Yeah,
Houston.
you go straight to Houston. I ain't going straight
Trying
to
to
Houston.
save some money. Trying to save some.
Yeah, I ain't worried
How's
about
that
that.
saving money?
First of all, it's one less flight. We just changed the destination from Vegas to Houston instead of Vegas to Birmingham, Birmingham to Houston, Houston to Birmingham.
No, but you've still got to get back here.
Yeah, but it's just one leg. It's not when you come here and it's there and back.
Okay, but what do you think is
Ain't
more
none of this
expensive, a
saving money.
Southwest leg or 3 more nights in a hotel?
I don't know. It depends on what hotel I'm staying in.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to stay in the Econo Lodge.
Hey, have a good idea to save money if you really want it.
Lunsford, don't do stuff on the air, man.
Just saying.
Yeah. Wow.
As you say, we own the company, so we can make the decisions.
What happened to Lunsford today?
Well, he's sick. He's in a bad mood.
Yeah. Is he on medication?
It's that medication.
Yeah.
It's kind of in a
A
crappy
little
mood.
irritable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we not get breakfast? Do we need to order something? Do we need to
Can
get
we
some-
read the side effects of your antibiotics on the air?
Hey, it can get a lot worse.
Yeah, by the way, I would say I'm 90% out if Bama wins. You guys are going to Houston without me. So,
Okay.
yeah. That'll save the company some money. How about that?
90%.
Yeah, I
So
would
it's
say
still
90%.
at 10%. What's going to
Still 10%.
All right.
Yeah. Forget Netflix and chill. Bryce says Lunsford Xanax and chill.
I'll take it.
Give it to me. Come in here in the break. I got it in my bag. All right. Show being brought to you in part by our friend Dr. B. Dr. B is a sponsor we have on the air occasionally, Lunsford. Tell us about Dr. B.
No, it's going to be a fun 3 hours today. Isn't it? My man, Dr. B, when I started to thin out, I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the name everyone mentioned. Since I went to see Dr. B, my hair has more than doubled in thickness. All I'm doing is 3 non-invasive treatments, 30 minutes each on the couch. Did one last night. For more information, t3hair.net or call 205-319-0316. Set up that consultation. I also got the Sensus Transdermal Infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary as Dr. B can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. Again, t3hair.net or call 205-319-0316.
Our Monday morning quarterback is Fox Sports' Joel Klatt. Every Monday at 10:25.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar. Best Coke ever?
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the next round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies, get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store, that's nextround.store.
Stop unwanted guests. Save $50 from our friends at Wayne's right now. Call 866-WAYNES-1 this holiday season. Give the gift of peace and security to your home and family with a $50 off recurring Wayne's Pest Control services. Keep your celebrations joyful and free of unwanted critters this holiday and beyond. At Wayne's Pest Control, we don't just promise short-term fixes. We promise year-round protection for your home, keeping your family, children, and pets safe. Again, call 866-WAYNES-1 today. That's 866-WAYNES-1.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
We ended up doing something in 2023 that industry has now officially been called dead on arrival.
What?
It officially died in 2023.
Okay. So we killed an industry in 2023.
And we actually did it before it died. What it is after I tell you about our friends at Way to Wellness. Way to Wellness.
Quite the tease.
Riddle, man.
Yeah. Okay. It's now an industry that has been labeled dead. And we did it, though, in 2023.
Okay.
The year it is being labeled, it died.
All right.
Is that a better tease?
So we killed it.
Yeah. Our friends at Way to Wellness can help your journey to weight loss or maybe getting blood pressure and cholesterol in line. All you have to do is go to their website, aplanforme.com. Aplanforme.com. It's your journey to healthy living. Leslie and her board-certified team over there will give you no contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation's free. So what you get to do here is find out more about Way to Wellness without any money coming out of your pocket. Maybe you've been trying to lose weight before and you just got caught in some bad cycle of a diet. This isn't a diet. This is a plan that you can use forever. I've been on it for 2 or 3 years now. My weight still fluctuates occasionally depending on how much I stay on the plan, but I'm able to maintain that weight loss now. At one point, 226, hovering around 189 after the holidays right now, but it's been something that's helped my blood pressure and cholesterol numbers. It can help you as well. Aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Less than 0.4%, that's not a lot, of limo rides in 2023 were in stretch limos. They've all gone to the big Suburbans and such like that. But when we got off the plane to go to Ocean City, remember the ride out was in a stretch limo.
That is correct.
I forgot about that. I think we talked. Well, I mean, that was kind of a blurry night. That was our travel through Charlotte where we did a Ask Us Anything.
Yes.
But I think we did talk about once we got in the limo. Like, I don't know if I'd been in the limo in like more than a decade. You just don't see them.
You don't see them anymore.
Ever.
And one of the newsletters, the Hustle this morning, said businesses that died in 2023. Stretch limo was the story.
All right, so this is entirely random, but I went to Jacksonville yesterday for my family Christmas with my parents and my brother and his family, right? And we got off the exit to get some gas and a drink.
What was the name of the strip club?
No. It was
because remember they had the limo that would drive around.
Right.
And
Platinum Club.
Platinum Club would have like escorts in the back, and you would pay a certain amount to ride in the back of the limo. Can you imagine? What do you do? I drive around escorts to have sex in the back of my limo all day.
I believe
I'm doing this a lot. Raising that window.
I believe there was a raid that ended all of that. No. I drove past our buddy Adam Stock's radio station in Pell City, and there's a white stretch limo sitting out front.
Really?
100%. And I even thought, I was like, I hadn't seen a limo in a long time. What in the world is Adam Stocks doing with a white stretch limo out front?
Does he double down? Is
I
like
have
a
no
limo
idea.
driver?
I have no idea, but his radio station he owns is right off the interstate next to that service station where I stopped to get a drink and gas, and I saw that white limo sitting out there.
Are Hummer limos still a thing? Tyler wants to ask. Tyler, you got a microphone. Use the microphone there. Did you stretch limo it back in the day?
I've only been in a limo once. One of my friends, for his birthday party, had his parents rent a Hummer limo and go through the school car rider line to pick us up and go to the arcade.
What grade was that?
That was probably second grade. It was great.
Phenomenal. The arcade.
I think the first time I ever rode in a limo was prom, I think.
I never had one in prom.
And then I got to a point where I thought it was kind of embarrassing to be in a limo.
Yeah. It does feel a bit extra.
Yeah, like I would be with clients or friends, and they'd be like, hey, we got a limo going to Tuscaloosa for the game. Do you want to jump in it?
Zach says 2 Hummer limos still work in Tuscaloosa.
I've never been in one of the Hummer limos that I can remember.
Is it an extended? Is it a stretch like Hummer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's an extended Hummer. You got to climb up into it.
Wow.
Keith, I hate to disappoint, but I'm not a strip club guy. I think the last time I was a strip club was with you for 5 minutes in Dallas.
Yeah.
What year was that? 15?
Michigan State, 2015. Yeah.
And I know about Platinum Club because it was all over the news. Dude got caught. $1 million he got confiscated.
Yeah, Platinum Club, though, I know about that because I grew up in Calhoun County.
Yeah, that was a big deal back in the day.
Yeah, it was a big news story.
The strip clubs in the South used to be a way you'd launder money, right?
I'm sure it's still a way you launder money.
I think some have suggested that, yes.
Yeah. We'll do 4 downs a little bit later on in the show. A couple of NFL notes before we talk to Joel Klatt about Alabama and Michigan. Minnesota still on the fringe in the playoff hunt. TJ Hawkinson and DJ Wonnum both done for the year. Hawkinson's a big loss.
That is a big loss. Lance, they can't run the football. They had 11 carries for 17 yards, and that lost to Detroit Sunday. 11 carries, 17 yards.
Well, and it's amazing that Minnesota has, and give Kevin O'Connell a lot of credit, keeping this thing together, doing it with backup quarterbacks from Josh Dobbs to now Nick Mullins, and no Jordan Addison right now. So Justin Jefferson's trying to do everything. One of the more amazing catches of 2023 this past week. I don't know if you guys saw that. I think it was on a 3rd and 23 or something. But that guy is incredible. But I don't know how they continue to find ways to stay in games and even win some of these games.
They got to get help from either the Rams losing or Seattle losing to get in this. And they got to beat Green Bay Sunday night. It's amazing, though, that Nick Mullins, local kid, without any run support, 11 carries, 17 yards, still threw for 411 yards. And still with 3 interceptions, they had the ball in hand with a chance to win the game.
They did.
And he threw his 4th interception.
You know, Kevin O'Connell, a guy that was former offensive coordinator for Sean McVay, that's a fun offense, but they can't run the football. You're right.
Yeah, it's been an amazing year in the NFL about pulling quarterbacks off the shelf. I mean, with what Flacco's doing, what Nick has done, and some of these other backup quarterbacks, it's been a pretty amazing year of backup quarterbacks there. Kareem Jackson, who got cut 2 days ago by the Broncos, picked up yesterday by the Houston Texans. Now, he served 2 suspensions, but the guy's a veteran DB, and they're picking up Kareem Jackson just in case they're in the playoffs. He'll be a veteran force to help them bring a little hit to their playoff punch if the Texans end up squeezing in there.
Yeah, I'm really okay. Before the season, I was like, this Texans team is going to be horrible. I don't know how C.J. Stroud's going to play. Obviously, he's been in concussion protocol. But 3 weeks ago, I thought for sure they'd be in the postseason. And now they're sitting at 8-7, 3-way tie atop the AFC South. I don't know what happens, but that's one of those teams when I watch them, I pull for them.
Oh, I do too. It's just a good story.
Yeah.
Is Kareem Jackson the longest-standing Saban player in the NFL from Alabama? He's got to be. I can't remember. You know, Julio is close. But my gosh, it is amazing Kareem Jackson is still in the NFL. I mean, that guy was on Saban's 08 team.
So was Julio, right?
08? Yeah, that's what it's either Kareem Jackson or Julio.
Yeah.
I don't know of any of those other guys that are still drawing a check in the league.
I did see the 5 oldest players in the league, and they obviously weren't on there. But, I mean, we're talking about a receiver and a defensive back.
Yeah,
I mean, it was quarterback, offensive line, punter.
Yeah, kickers and punters can play a long time, man.
Clinched in the playoffs already in the AFC is Baltimore and Miami. Spots are getting eat up in the NFC, LT.
Oh,
Dallas, Philadelphia, Detroit, and San Francisco are already locked in. There are, 7 spots, so 3 spots still left open there. Bucks clinch with a win against New Orleans this weekend.
So NFC South, that's one that. So there's only 2
spots for all those teams battling.
Yeah, Detroit,
Rams are in a good spot.
Or excuse me, Minnesota, Green Bay, the Rams, and Seattle. The problem for the Rams is it looks like San Francisco after that loss could be playing for the 1 seed in week.
That's your problem.
And so they're going to be, and the Rams aren't beating San Francisco in San Francisco, so the Rams have to win in New York. And I still think there's a way they could get bounced on some of these tiebreakers. I'm trying to figure it out. But I think even at 9-8, the Rams could still be out.
You probably need Green Bay to beat Minnesota Sunday night just to go and knock all that out.
But the problem
Green
is
Bay's still alive at that point.
Yeah, and Green Bay beat the Rams head-to-head in Lambeau about 2 months ago. And so Green Bay would finish with the Bears at home. So I figured Green Bay's going to win that game.
Man, I got to tell you, the NFL's got to figure it out, Dunaway, that we're this deep in the season, 2 games left, and both 1 seeds still very much up in the air, and in the AFC, a ton of playoff spots still very much up in the air.
That's the way college football will be next year, fighting for those wild card spots. They hope anyway. Lone Social says Kareem Jackson was Shula into Saban, so he was there before Nick Saban and before Julio. Kevin says he would be amazed at how close Jackson is actually to coming to Alabama when his now head coach DeMeco Ryans was leaving Alabama.
That's true. They weren't that far apart, were they?
They probably knew.
Really, I think 3 years apart.
They knew the same classmates. Okay, Joel Klatt's up next as we continue on the show today that's being brought to you in part by our wonderful friends at Bromberg's.
Since 1836, family owned and operated. They are your diamond specialists. Make sure you get it to one of those locations, Mountain Brook or the Summit. You can also shop online, brombergs.com. Nothing like giving or getting that silver box from our friends at Bromberg's.
Back in a moment on the next round.
Follow the Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
It's time to start thinking about employee holiday gifts. Consider getting your hardworking guys a pair of Red Wing boots. Each day, your employees are on the job site helping your company succeed, so reward them with comfort at its best. The Red Wing mobile shoe truck can visit your shop and fit your employees with a great selection of boots. Or Red Wing gift cards can be purchased at your local Red Wing store, available in all amounts. Whichever program you choose, your employees will appreciate the quality, service, and selection from Red Wing shoes, and they'll also be thankful they have such a great boss. Reward your employees this holiday season with Red Wing shoes.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to the Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. NextRound.store. That's NextRound.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, let's go hour number 2, Joel Klatt, in just a second. Before Joel joins us, the Pistons lose again last night. Am I right, Forrester? Is it 27 in a row now? 27 in a row. The Pistons now with 27 losses. It's the NBA record for the most losses in a single season. The Sixers had 26 losses in 13 and 14, and the Cavs had 26 in 10 and 11. I thought I had the Sixers at 28 and 14 and 15, but that was over 2 seasons.
Yeah, it was
End
over
of
2
one
seasons.
and beginning of the other. The longest losing streak is 34 games, Northwestern football, 1979 to 82. The Chicago Cardinals of the early NFL days from 1942 to 45 lost 29 straight. So even my Buccaneers couldn't even break that record. And then all time, it's the old Washington Generals. They've lost 2,495 straight games to the Harlem Globetrotters.
Well, you're going to get loss number 28 because they're at Boston. And they're about to go on a big road swing. Golden State, Denver, Utah, Houston. I don't know when this thing ends. I guess maybe January 10th against San Antonio at home.
Maybe.
But that would be, I guess you got an outside shot at Toronto coming up this weekend. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that'd put them at 33 straight.
Yeah, that's a hard record in
They're
basketball.
young, man. I mean, 4 of their starting 5 are 22 or below.
They've had a lot of lottery picks. We'll go to Joel Klatt here in a second. I want to remind you right now to give Coke Zero Sugar a try this holiday season as we move to a new year. Is it the best Coke ever? It's a bold question, I know, but this irresistible taste is just so good. It backs it up. So give it a taste this new year. Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself.
USC Louisville tonight. You'll see the game on Fox. MyBookie.ag has Louisville as a 6.5-point favorite currently in this game against USC. Joel Klatt joins us from San Diego, where he'll be doing the game tonight with Gus Johnson on Fox. Welcome in, Klatt. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Doing awesome. And I mentioned MyBookie. They bring you Joel Klatt. MyBookie.ag, code next round. You make that deposit, and they match it up to $1,000 when you use code next round at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. We were talking about it to open the show. I don't know how you know what's going to happen in any of these bowl games, Klatt. I mean, it's like it's opt-outs left and right. I mean, you got a game tonight. I guess you know who's playing for USC.
Miller Moss.
I mean, not really. Like, I've got red all over this board.
Yeah, to Lance's point, you know
Miller Moss is going to play.
Yeah,
I know
who's not playing for them is their quarterback.
This is, it's so fascinating. And think about this. USC had a weird schedule this year where they had one of their bye weeks was actually the last week of the regular season. So they haven't played a game since November 18th. That's 6 weeks. That's almost 40 days, which is, I bet you there's been years where a team that plays in the national championship, like Bama, would play in the national championship, and then they might start spring football close to 6 weeks later. And that's the break that USC just had between their regular season that lost to UCLA and this game. So this game for USC specifically is like a 1-game season for a team that really doesn't exist. It doesn't resemble the team that played this fall, and it's not going to resemble the team that they take into the Big Ten next year either. It's the most fascinating thing I've experienced covering college football. It's literally a 1-game team just out of thin air.
Yeah, and I really I don't know what's going on in the culture here. Now, look, the opt-outs are the opt-outs. Marshawn Lloyd's not going to play. Brendan Rice is not going to play. Obviously, Caleb Williams is not going to play. We see this in bowl games. But there is something going on inside of this USC culture. This is a team that was a house of cards last year, plus 21 in turnovers. One of the reasons they were 11-1 in the regular season. They started this season 6-0. It wasn't a difficult schedule. And now they've lost 5 of 6. And moving forward, I guess Will Howard ultimately is going to be the quarterback next year. But that's not in cement. There are people that believe Lincoln Riley might go to the NFL. Do you have, and not to disclose any internal information, but do you have a theory on what's going on right now with the Trojans in this program?
So, you hit on one of them. I think that last year was an anomaly because of the turnovers, the turnover margin. I think Caleb masks. He was so good that he masked a lot of things. And this fixing this defense is so important, and they've got to make that happen. Then the culture is interesting because you do have a lot of players that are leaving. Now, if you talk with them inside the building, they will say that, and this is not dissimilar to what you would hear from any place that has a lot of exits, but they're trying to sell the addition by subtraction. And, well, we want guys that are fully committed and want to be here. And, maybe we didn't get that, and we're going to need to change, and we need to get bigger on the offensive line. And, our culture was something that needed to change a little bit. But having said that, it's not only did they lose all those games come back the second half of the season, but 4 of their 5 losses were by multiple scores. So it's not like they were playing a ton of now you could claim that they were playing tight games, but it didn't pan out that way when you really look at it. They weren't ultimately that close against Oregon or UCLA. Those games got away from them. I will say, though, that they are still talented. I think that Lincoln's going to be there next year. And as far as the quarterback goes, let's just put it this way. The transfer portal is like I don't know what your demographics are like, but it's like, how do I relate to this? The transfer portal is like the beer goggles of college football. Everybody gets more attractive in the transfer portal. So everybody gets reverted back to just like what they could potentially be. It doesn't matter if they flamed out wherever they were. It doesn't matter if they couldn't win a job. It just matters that well, that was the 4-star kid, and that was clearly that program's issue. They can't develop, but our team can. So I give you that in reference to Miller Moss. Miller Moss in the transfer portal would be an amazing get for the team that landed him. But because he's just like the backup who's going to stay here and he's not a new shiny object for USC, everyone's like, I guess Miller Moss is going to play. So well, which one is it? Because he was a highly recruited guy. He has stayed here. He has stayed loyal. At some point, someone's got to be Jalen Milroe. And I'm not saying that Miller Moss is or isn't going to be that. I'm just saying he was a really talented guy that stuck around and got beat out by what many of us call a generational talent the last couple of years. Maybe Miller Moss is a really good player. Maybe Lincoln Riley knows how to coach offense. And if he stays, and I think he will, maybe they'll be just fine on the offensive side. And maybe D'Anton Lynn is a guy that can improve the defense just a little bit because, let's face it, they were awful. I think it's easy to say that the sky is falling and that there's huge problems at USC, but I do think after really digging in and preparing for this game, there are glimmers of hope. There are some good young players, and there is at least a path for them to become a pretty competitive team next year, even at the top end of the Big Ten.
I think our demographic understands beer goggles, and you want to find
there we go.
And you want to find your quarterback before you hear the song "Closing Time." Absolutely, you don't want to.
There you go.
You don't want to still be in there at closing time. So on the other side of the coin, you have a Louisville program.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What's the over/under in the amount of times that Lance still hears the term "last call"? I haven't heard last call in a decade.
It's down this year. It's down.
It is down this year, Joel.
Good. Good for you.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my life going in the right direction, but I still.
This is not a shot, by the way.
No, I know.
It seems like a shot.
We're all
this
friends.
is more just a fun question. We're all friends here.
And I think for you guys, I think this is going in the right direction. I think a lot of our listeners would like me to continue to flame out and hear last call a couple of times a week. I will say once a month I hear last call.
Week?
I'll hear it once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I tell you what. Well done.
Yeah.
We're
moving in the right
good work
direction.
for you.
We go to the floor.
See, you don't have to get into the transfer portal to improve your life. You don't have to. You can do it right where you're at.
We go to the Floribama 3 times a year. I would say you've heard last call at the Floribama more than anywhere else.
Yeah, probably that. We're going to be coming to your great city here this week. We're going to be in Vegas, so I'm sure the 2 nights in Vegas and the 4 nights in California and in Los Angeles, I'll probably hear it once or twice.
There you go. Listen. You're a beauty. I love it. I'm having fun at your expense.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, I'm getting to the age where I don't even hear the start of the local news anymore at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, listen, we all know when you get up there, and I'm starting to get there as well. Not that I am the oldest 41-year-old that you will possibly meet. I'm the guy, and I'm sure maybe Dunaway, you're like this as well, that if I'm at a place that turns into kind of a scene at night, I'm at the time. If I'm there when the music starts to get turned up a little bit, I'm like, okay, like this is, I can't even hear the conversation.
We did this at the first USFL game that was played in Birmingham. We went to a bar that's like a country bar with a band, and it was nice. And then as we were getting there right after the game, it transitioned into a nice dance club with everyone right at age 21. And I was like, all right, I need to leave. I need to get out of here.
And you know what? None of those 21-year-olds call it a dance club. So again,
that's right.
We had actually seen you earlier that night. Let me ask you this, though, because you used to like to have fun, and you've told your story about sobriety, and I think it's incredible. I still remember you were at Fleming's the last time you had a drink.
Yes, it was a Fleming's. You're right. It was an unfortunate happy hour. Yeah.
Hey, whatever it takes, though, to realize that this isn't for me, that I've got to change my life. I thought it was a great story. But would you be more weary in today where everybody's got a cell phone? Like, you're the face of Colorado football. How different would it be for you now if you were still in that realm?
Man, that's a great question. I think that players have to be more careful now than ever. Obviously, I mean, that's an obvious statement. I think it would be totally different. I think that the level of scrutiny that they get, it happened in the newspapers and things, but even when I was playing, like the online chat rooms, they were so periphery that it's not like you would hear, what was going on. So I think that playing now sounds awful, to be really honest with you. I get it that they've got these great opportunities for NIL, but man, every single, Joe Schmo, sorry, but like mouth breathing basement dweller thinks that he's got an opinion, and I'm 41. So like when I hear it, when people are like, you're biased, it's like, okay, fine. All right. But if I'm a player who, and let's face it, like a lot of times, like these players don't understand how to deal with criticism yet because we don't prepare them for this. Okay, so think about this. For the previous 3 and 4 years, we've told them how great they are through recruiting and told them how much money they're going to make. And man, it's going to be great here. And look at how great you are. And everything's going to be amazing. And it's like the Lego movie Everything is Awesome song for 3 years. Everything is awesome. And then all of a sudden they get to school and it's like, oh, by the way, you got to compete for a job. And oh, by the way, every moron is going to have an opinion about everything that you do, whether it's on the field or off the field. And those opinions generally don't change. And if you mess up just once, it's over. Like, whoa, think about the hard turn that a lot of these players have from the recruiting process to then what they go through in their college life and in their college career. No wonder they all go to the portal because it's like, I want to go back to the Lego movie. Come on, somebody tell me how awesome I am. I want to be re-recruited. Of course, there's a problem in college football in that regard. So I know that your question probably wasn't meant to go in that direction, but really think about where we're at. In terms of the level of scrutiny once you're playing, you've been told everything is perfect and you're perfect for 4 years, then they all want to dive back in. I want someone to tell me how great I am. I want someone to recruit me. I want out of this situation in which I'm actually being scrutinized. So I don't know, just something to chew on, something to think about.
Hey, I for some reason I was bored last night, so I couldn't sleep. 1979. I'm watching some old games on YouTube from 1979. Bobby Bowden's Florida State team had 2 kids from the same high school, and they went to Florida State together in Tallahassee, went to Florida State. They shared the quarterback duties for 3 years. They shared the quarterback. They split time playing for Bobby Bowden's team for 3 years. It would never happen now. And they were best friends. They were roommates. They were fraternity brothers.
Tom Brady competed for his whole career to finally, in his last year, get like the last 6 games. Now I'm the starter.
Yep.
There's no way that happens nowadays. So let me bring it all the way back. Maybe that's why a guy like Jalen Milroe is more mentally tough and can get through hard things and can develop during the season. Maybe that means Miller Moss is more mentally tough than we think. And he's willing to sit there and say, like, okay, I'm going to bide my time and I'm going to go out there and play well. And I don't care what people say. So I don't know. It's definitely something to think about, because this day and age is just very different. And there are a lot of great things, but with those great things come unintended consequences. And unfortunately, a lot of the players have to bear a lot of those unintended consequences.
And, Milroe was given space to develop once Alabama finally decided he was the guy. But I don't know.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt.
No,
I'm just kind of stealing everything. I have questions. I have so many questions.
All right, you fire away. Are you going to ask us questions now?
Well, why not?
Okay.
Isn't it fair to ponder at least?
Sure.
The South Florida game.
Right.
That was Nick showing everybody, get off of Jalen's back.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I think he knew he could start anybody on his roster and beat South Florida.
Incredible teaching moment off the field.
Yeah.
That's right. And it wasn't for Jalen. I legitimate think that 60 minutes was for the fan base. Because after the Texas game, you guys know, everyone's like, we can't, we got to move on. It's got to be somebody else. It has to be somebody else. And I think Nick was sitting there like, okay, look.
We'll play them all.
Yeah, here they are. Here they are. Now what do you think? Well, yeah, we think Jalen's the right one. Oh, okay, then let me coach the team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now maybe that's too simplistic, and maybe Nick Saban would never make a decision like that. But boy, guys, when you look back, that game would stick out. If you look at his entire career at Alabama, that game sticks out so much because it doesn't make any sense. Not just because of their performance, but it doesn't make sense that Jalen didn't see the field. I legitimately think that was a moment for him to just say, this is for everybody that wants to talk. And he's like, this is going to be an issue for Jalen and an issue for our team the rest of the season unless I throw a bucket of cold water on it. And USF was a bucket of cold water on it.
But I think further, too, you allow Jalen Milroe to stand on the sidelines and realize, okay, I better be the starter here or we're in trouble. I mean, and maybe
no pressure on me anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
remember that happened to Stroud at Ohio State. Remember they lost the Oregon game his first year as a starter early, and the next week, they said his shoulder was banged up, and Kyle McCord actually started. So that happens.
Yeah, was that all the questions you had for us?
I just thought it was I mean, you're closer to it.
Well,
right? I wondered if am I the crazy West Coast guy?
Nah.
Saban would never do that, or that's the way I think.
Hey, real quick, I want to point out you are going to be part of history tonight with you calling the last game for USC as a Pac-12 member. I assume you'll be part of history next year as you will call their first Big Ten matchup against Michigan in the Big House.
I would assume that's safe.
So speaking of Michigan, though,
I mean, obviously that's not official, right? That's a good assumption.
Yeah,
that's a good assumption.
I feel like it is. Speaking of Michigan, and I was telling Dunaway before we went on the air, it seems like every Alabama fan has already booked their tickets to Houston. A lot of Alabama fans aren't coming to L.A. because they think this game is in the bag against Michigan. How do you feel about the matchup, Michigan-Alabama?
So for 12 weeks this year, I thought Michigan was the better team than Alabama. And then it just so happens that the 1 week that I don't feel all that confident in that happens to be their last game. And when you see what Bama was able to do against Georgia, and when you see what Michigan was without Zach Zenter against Iowa, now all of a sudden you're like, whoa, hold on a second. That's because if those two versions show up, Bama's going to win. And I would agree with the Bama fan base. Now, if the Michigan that beat Ohio State and the Alabama that struggled with Auburn show up, then Michigan wins the game. and if the version that beat Penn State on the road of Michigan shows up and the version that lost to Texas shows up, Michigan wins the game. So I think at more times during the season, you could argue or make the argument that Michigan was the better team. It just so happens that the last time we saw them was not one of those cases. I'm leaning Alabama in this game. Okay, I am different than Vegas. I think that the ability of Jalen Milroe to extend plays is something that defense has not seen. Michigan's defense. Now, there's a lot of things Michigan does and does well, and probably they do to a better degree than any of the other teams that Alabama has faced, even Georgia. And I know that people are like, bias, but whatever. The aspect that I'm most nervous for, though, isn't even Milroe. It's actually the fact that Michigan has to be able to run the football. It's like it's baked into their they don't have a lot of answers in the straight drop back passing game. Now, their passing game is really good when it comes off of the run action. That doesn't mean that JJ is not a good player. It's just that that's the way that their offense is built. They ran the ball for under 2 yards a carry against Iowa. That's concerning, So for me, it's more about Zach Zenter, their All-American guard. He's injured. He broke his leg in that Ohio State game. What they looked like against Iowa after that was not something that gives me a lot of confidence. And so for those reasons, I'm leaning towards Alabama.
I'm right about Michigan's depth on the defensive line, though. The defensive line, they run a lot of bodies out more than normal, right?
This is the best defensive line that Alabama will have seen. And that's what I don't think, an Alabama fan can wrap their mind around. Is like, well, no. They're not better than Georgia's defensive line. Yes, they are, and they're deeper. They're not better than Texas's defense. Yes, there's actually multiple Tavondre Sweats on this team. They rotate 5 guys just on the interior that are all 300 pounds, and they can all get after it. The defensive line is the best defensive line that Alabama will have faced, and that's a hands down type of deal.
And that's my concern. That's my concern.
So much better than Texas.
Yes,
because of
Texas
their depth.
is good. Their first 4 is really good, on par. That like the first 4 that roll out there, it's like, oh boy, Texas is just as good as Alabama, maybe, or excuse me, as Michigan, maybe a hair better. The difference is that Michigan literally has 3 defensive lines that are all top end caliber, and so it's the depth. Not one of the players averaged over 30 snaps a game. So you get really good players that get to play really hard because they're not playing that often. And it's a problem. They've got 4 edge players that they can rotate, and they all do different things. They've got the best nickel in the country in Mike Sainristil. They've got an All-American corner in Will Johnson. Like, the defense is legitimate. I'm really fascinated to see how they handle Milroe's ability to extend the play and use his legs.
Just randomly, I was looking ahead. I think you guys are also, Lance kind of pinned you against the wall there on USC, Michigan. I think the week before that, y'all are going to have Bama, Wisconsin.
Me too.
Because I'm just looking at the schedule.
Maybe it's an embarrassment of riches that both of these conferences and all the games and matchups. There's a chance that we're going to get that game. I don't know exactly how the draft process is going to play out. I was going to ask you that. Y'all don't get the first pick each week anymore, do you? Do you know? Well, we get. I don't know if I'm sure.
Don't
we
say
get the
something
first
you should say.
3 overall picks.
Oh, okay.
Of the year.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
And then we start trading off with both NBC and CBS.
So basically you start with Ohio State, Michigan, and then you pick 2 more.
Yeah,
correct.
Ohio
That's
State,
off
Michigan.
the board, and then there's 2 more matchups that immediately come off the board.
Well,
as
Michigan,
well.
USC would be one.
Yeah, I mean that's tough to pass on that one. And Bama, Wisconsin.
I would think. Although, guys, I mean, look, you've got like Texas is going to Michigan. You've got. I know this is going to sound crazy, but if you actually look at the ratings, Colorado's at Nebraska next year. That's an interesting one. You've got Bama, Wisconsin. You've got Ohio State, Penn State. You've got, It's crazy. You got Michigan-Washington in a game that could be a rematch of a national championship game.
Is Notre Dame at USC?
It's wild.
Does Notre Dame fall into your USC window this year, or is that back?
Give me 2 seconds.
I can't remember if that was. I think it was South Bend this year, so I think
yeah,
it's
it
LA.
should be. Yeah, it should be at USC. So that would be a potential. Yeah. So you can see where it's like, bang.
Yeah. November 30th, Notre Dame's at USC. Wow.
There's a world in which Bama playing Wisconsin is like the 11th pick in the draft, which is wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Of course, we're planning on being there, Joel.
I know. We're going to the game.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll be there.
The nightmare for Alabama, you know who's going to end up with that game is CBS. They're going to get Gary back. They're going, my God, we cannot get rid of the guy.
I mean, I've called one Bama game, though, and they were not happy. You Bama fans, hard to please.
They like you, Joel, because you come on this show. Klatt will be on the bowl
Next
game.
round, my guys.
Bowl game tonight.
Your studio must be freezing. Lance just sits there in his puffer coat.
I am cold-natured. By the way, it was 36 degrees when I left the house this morning.
It's pretty cold here in Birmingham today is the problem. Yeah,
got it.
I know you're in San Diego. We can't all have that weather.
I mean, it's chilly.
It's chilly here. I woke up. It was like 51.
Woo! Yeah. All right. So tonight on Main Fox, you'll get Klatt and Gus in the All-American Girl and USC Louisville in the Holiday Bowl. Klatt, thank you very much for the time, man. Always fun talking to you.
I appreciate it. Love you all.
Love
Lance,
you, buddy.
I'm sorry I was unfairly hard on you
No,
today.
no, man. You're one of my mentors.
That's amazing. Have a great day, fellas. We'll see you out here in California.
Yep, we'll see you next week. Klatt with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. He's presented each week by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. And you will, by using code next round, be eligible for that deposit bonus where you make your deposit. They match it up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag, code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
Brett says, I'm serious. J.J. McCarthy isn't a good runner like what's his name is. J.J. McCarthy, remember, played since
he's a really good
late
runner.
October with a banged-up leg.
A high ankle sprain.
Yeah,
played through it. I mean,
he's rested it for a month. He should be 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing. They wanted him to continue to get the reps. They knew they could win with the limited J.J. McCarthy. Is he going to go out there and slay Alabama through the air? No. Is he going to dice them up, and run for 100-plus yards? No. But he is a much better runner than advertised.
Yeah, and just look at the Auburn game. All it takes is some quarterback runs to get you off balance in the run game, right?
That's all it is.
Just some quarterback runs.
But I do agree with what most people – look, I think right now Alabama's playing better football than Michigan. I do think Michigan has not even seen a quarterback close to what you get in Jalen Milroe. And look, these could be major factors.
Yep. Brett says, sorry, we were discussing the Auburn quarterback running game. Sorry, the same screen that's got the chat room up is the one we were looking at Joel Klatt on. I apologize. Jumped into a different one. Peyton Thorne's a good running quarterback, right? He's a good
he has been at times this year. He was against Alabama, was against Georgia.
Yep. All right, quick break here after LT tells us about our friends at Odie's, a place where trivia happens on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, tonight is Wednesday night. I don't know if Rocky's going to be there or not, but we will be out there a little after 8 o'clock. Get there early, enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis, the award-winning wings, delicious burgers. That chili is fantastic. This time of year, they'll have heaters outside on the patio. You can watch bowl action out there with us, but enjoy Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night. The Crestline location. New location, though, as well for live music on Friday and Saturday nights. It's in Homewood, the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get in today to Odie's Tavern.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got two great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbeham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Tom Luganville here for Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear. For great holiday shopping for the whole family, this place is a must. Jack's carries all the name brands in boots, hats, and apparel, including the Kynes Ranch brand, as seen on Yellowstone. You might not look like Kevin Costner, but you can dress like him. Jack's also has the only Ariat shop within a shop in the state of Alabama. Come see us every Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Just look for the big red building off I-65, exit 304 in Coleman.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Back with you now, our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing has you hopefully thinking about your house in 2024. Gives you a chance right now to jump on a free no-cost roof inspection with Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531 for that free no-cost roof inspection. You can also look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City there. He's been locally owned for over 20 years. He and his wife own the company. Insurance guys trust him. It's going to help you out a lot when it comes to storm damage. And they've got the best warranties in the business. You see a satisfied customer on the right. You see Greg there in the big black truck on the left. You see the phone number, 205-542-3531, 542-3531. All right, we'll get to four downs here in a second. But first, I want to ask the question about LT's USC team and Lincoln Riley. It's a one-off game tonight. You heard Joe Klatt talk about this, right? One-off game. This roster is nothing like we saw during the year, nothing like we're going to see next year. But Lincoln Riley, to me, seems to be at a crossroad a little bit on what we think he is as a head coach, right? He's at a crossroad. I don't know if I'm an NFL franchise, if I'm interested in Lincoln Riley.
I am.
Wow.
I am, because
he's had a bad couple of months.
Yeah, I am
or
interested.
Is it a bad couple of years?
No, he's an excellent quarterback developer, though. That's what you want if I'm an NFL franchise. Like, it's such a different game in the NFL.
Because you're not building a franchise, you just need to be an offensive coach and let the defensive guys handle that.
Just real quick, and I know I'm a homer, Lance, but look at Miami. So you go out and you got to get a guy that can unlock Tua Tagovailoa. And then in year two, you tell him, we'll go get one of the most respected defensive coordinators in the game so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so
you don't get to do that in the college game.
So in college, he's got to be a program builder.
That's right.
He's got to manage the whole program. In the NFL, he just has to be an offensive mind, so it may be a better fit for Lincoln Riley.
I think it is, actually.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised you say he's had a couple of bad years. Last year was an A year.
I mean, they won they played for the Pac-12.
Played for the Pac-12.
Yeah, they won 11 games and a Heisman Trophy winner in year one.
In his first year.
Yeah, I mean, look, this year has been garbage, complete garbage, and he's lost control, and the players haven't bought in, and a lot of this has to do with NIL, I believe. So he hasn't done a good job of, controlling the culture. It's gotten out of hand.
But he's at a crossroad as a coach at USC. Let's go there then.
I don't know. I don't feel that yet. Again, this was a D- job this year.
He's already changed a coordinator.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that does kind of put you at a
Anton Lynn will
crossroads.
come in. This guy's got NFL and college experience. We'll see if there's any difference. He was way too loyal to Alex Grinch for a long time.
When you change a coordinator, you are naturally at a crossroads. I would agree with you on that, when you're forced to change a coordinator.
Does it seem like USC's mystique isn't shining as bright as I thought it was going to shine? It seemed like
nobody fears USC.
But it just seemed like if I had a chance in the portal world, like when the portal first became a thing and Jordan Addison was going out there, NIL and the portal all was happening at once, I was like, man, USC, who doesn't want to go play in LA? I thought it would be like a portal magnet. And then you had a bunch of guys leave this year. It just doesn't seem like it's shining as bright as I thought it was going to shine.
Yeah, like Pete Carroll, what he was able to do for that program and to make them just shiny and to have that pizzazz. People wanted to go there because they were celebrities and they wanted to play in that program. And Pete Carroll, what he would be able to do in NIL, he would crush it. He just knew how to balance to make it cool to play at USC. Right. I don't think it's necessarily cool to play at USC right now.
He unlocked, using the unlocked word, he unlocked the coolness of playing at USC.
We made it a pro franchise, basically. Yeah. I mean, it was like L.A. at the time did not have a professional franchise, right? And he made it the L.A. professional football franchise.
But they made it a good franchise. It's an NFL franchise right now. It's just a bad franchise.
That's right, yeah. I mean, so the first Sunday night of the season, that ABC Sunday night game is LSU-USC. Do you have confidence it'll be Brian Kelly versus Lincoln Riley in that game?
Oh, not right now, no.
I do. I still think
you think it'll be both, huh?
Because I think both are going to be viewed as running. I mean, Lincoln Riley already got labeled that by leaving Oklahoma, who was coming to the SEC. People will say this guy didn't want to play against SEC competition. So if he leaves coming off what probably is 7-6 after a loss tonight, people are going to be like, this guy, just couldn't get it done and had to go to the NFL. And then I think for Brian Kelly, it's the same thing.
But it had to go to the NFL. To me, going to the NFL is like his pass. Brian Kelly leaving the SEC, going to Michigan.
It looks more like he's running than Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, but Michigan is a better job than LSU.
I don't know if I would just...
I don't
know that I'd immediately say that.
Same job, but an easier conference, better place in the conference,
a slightly easier path. But there again, the whole playoff thing is changing the path discussion.
Yeah, I would rather have the LSU job based on the fact the last three coaches have won a national championship,
and two of those are complete idiots.
Michigan hasn't won one since '97.
Tell us about Johnston RV, Brown, and then I got a big question here that I'll try to phrase better than I did Lincoln Riley, because I will throw myself on the mercy of the Brown court and say that you are correct. Lincoln Riley, perfect for the NFL. It's the program managing, not the franchise managing. So I was wrong about that.
Yeah, and somebody said he's never had a commitment to defense. He hasn't on the college game, but keep in mind in the NFL, here's what's different. There is always a quality defensive coordinator that got a head coaching job because he's a quality defensive coordinator that's now fired as a head coach.
I mean,
they're always available in the NFL.
Robert Saleh to D'Amico Ryans.
Yep.
Those guys are both head guys. Now, Kyle Shanahan stays in his lane. He's an offensive guy. Get great defensive coordinators.
Yeah, you can always find a really good coordinator that became a head coach and he's gotten fired.
I guess my question was that Lincoln Riley, he really hasn't impressed me that he can build and manage a program, right? He inherited one with Stoops, maintained it okay, I guess. And now at USC, I don't know if he can.
But you cannot argue. You cannot argue with his development of quarterbacks.
No.
I just the body of evidence is too big. Johnston RV Center, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find them, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com. Again, Forest River Expo is where they go to pick out the new floor plans, and those have arrived, and you can get them as low as $179 a month. But you guys have responded so well to the advertising that they are just overrun, really, with previously owned, and it's like high-end previously owned stuff too. Very, very new still, and you can get that for a great discount so they can make room for all the new stuff. So Either way you go, you're getting a great deal right now at Johnston RV Center. And they, like our show, appreciate the military, and they know that the United States veteran and active duty military has made this the greatest country in the universe. No questions asked about it. They give you a great discount there. All of our military, retired or active duty, they take great care of them at Johnston RV Center, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, always online at johnstonrvcenter.com.
Okay, so if Lincoln Riley, if he stays at USC, if he's sort of at a crossroads, I've got some really good coaches here that next year is a pretty important year for them, especially with an expanded playoff. We'll go Brian Kelly first. I mean, they made the SEC championship last year, but how many games did they lose? 4 when they lost to Georgia?
Yeah, I think they were 9 wins all in.
And you got to say this year was sort of disappointing.
Oh, it was. I mean, again, people, crucify me for saying that LSU was going to win the national championship. I thought in year 2 they had all the tools. I didn't realize the defense would be this bad. If I would have told you guys back at SEC Media Days, Jaden Daniels wins a Heisman Trophy,
I would have thought they were at least playing Georgia for the conference championship.
Yeah, or at least in the playoff, I would think. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great you've got a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback for the first time in Billy Cannon. Well, he was running back.
He was running back. It's for Burrow.
Burrow, yeah. So never mind, forget that. But anyway, to have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback in year 2 is awesome, but there's nothing really to show for it. And disappointment.
I've been out some for holidays. Did I miss Matt House getting fired, or is he still the defensive coordinator?
Oh, he's still the defensive coordinator.
I know they lost Mike Denbrock. That's the one they did not want to lose.
The good coordinator left on Friday to go to Notre Dame because he's always wanted to be there.
But yeah, I think year 3, I mean,
it's a big year for him.
Massive.
Because if I'm an LSU fan, look, Les Miles can win a national championship. Ed Orgeron can win one. Brian Kelly is by far a better coach than those guys.
Bare minimum, I'm in the playoffs next year. If I'm an LSU fan, that's my expectation.
I mean, when we started the year off, you would have put Lincoln Riley as a top 5 coach in college football. And I think there's some questions now if he belongs there. You would have put Brian Kelly top 5 coaches right now in college football. Maybe some questions if he belongs there.
Well, I think Kalen DeBoer has solidified himself as a top 5 guy.
Ryan Day is a guy who we would have had in the top 5. I think there's some questions about Ryan Day going into next year.
I don't personally, he seems like an unlikable guy, but I still think Ryan Day is a hell of a coach. I mean, outside of Michigan, he's 39-0 in the Big Ten. Big Ten is viewed as the second best conference in all of football. So, outside of these 3 letdowns the last 3 years to Michigan, he would have played for and getting conservative last year. He would have gotten such a pass if he just would have let C.J. Stroud continue that drive. Don't rely on a kicker. Beat Georgia. You go on. You beat TCU.
Oh, they win the national championship.
We're not talking about this at all.
No, you're absolutely right. If he just plays that last possession a little bit differently, he's a complicated guy though. Ryan Day. The only games he wins are against big teams, but those are important games, and he loses those games. The only games he loses are against big teams. In Michigan. Alabama in the championship game, Georgia in the semifinals. I mean, it's all big games that he's losing. But if you keep losing big games, wins over Indiana and Purdue aren't going to keep a job there.
It does feel like, it may not be going down like this, but it does feel like it's not going up for him right now. And I understand his wins are tremendous against other teams, but it doesn't feel like his trajectory is throwing him into the top 5 of college football.
But they're going to be preseason top 5 next year. Their recruiting stays at the top.
And they'll win a ton of games.
Yeah.
Now, they may not win the important one, but they'll win a ton of them.
Now,
will they be preseason top 5 next year?
Yeah, they will
I think they will be.
Well, you'll have...
Well, it depends on who the quarterback's going to be.
Is.
Yeah, but let's just say that Cam Ward's our quarterback tomorrow. Yeah, they're top 5.
People didn't know who Alabama's quarterback was going to be going into this year, and they were top 5.
But Alabama will be a top 5.
Alabama definitely will be. Georgia will be. Michigan will be.
I don't know about
Michigan won't be.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I know
Texas will
Alabama,
be.
Texas, Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 3.
Yeah, and Washington and Michigan will not be.
Okay, so you'll throw those 2 out. I mean, we got to have 5. I think
Ohio State will be there.
Yeah, Ohio State's in that next group.
Yeah. The crazy thing, and I'll bring this back up, 4 teams from the SEC will make the college football playoff next year. But if you go on and pencil in Georgia, Alabama, and Texas, you got really good teams fighting for that 4th spot. And if a team like LSU doesn't get there, it's going to be a massive disappointment.
So we just said Georgia, Alabama, and Texas are going to be top 5 teams. So we're going to start the year with 3 SEC teams in the top 5.
Hey, and Brown, they'll be 1, 2, and 3 in some order.
Probably so.
Probably the way the playoffs finish up, by the way. If Alabama and Texas play each other for the title, whoever wins it will start 1, the other will be 2, Georgia will be 3.
Will LSU be top 10 to start the year?
I don't think so.
Will Oklahoma?
I don't know. And we're getting
Well, I know that.
No,
I'm just trying
not
to.
be.
So I'm just trying to say how many
The
SEC
question
teams.
is, will Missouri?
LSU won't be. Missouri won't be.
Ole Miss will be. They'll be knocking on the door.
Ole Miss will be a preseason
they'll be a top 10.
That's what I'm saying. If they're not top 10, they're knocking on the door. I think they'll probably be top 10.
They'll be top 10.
So that's at least 4.
Yeah, Oregon will be top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another crossroads.
Florida State will be top 10.
Crossroads for Dabo Swinney. I mean, he's done a lot. I'm not trying to question what he's done, but where he's going, it's a big year next year for Dabo.
It is because, not able to get to double-digit wins this year. It seems Florida State is taking that conference over. And I'll stick by this. I've said it for the last couple of months. The quietest team in college football this year was Clemson. Like, there was zero buzz about them. They were just...
And what are they, 9-3?
Yeah.
9-3.
8-3, right? No. 8-4? 9-4?
They lost 4? I thought they were 9-3.
I think, they're 9 wins right now.
Yeah, 9-3 then. They played 12. And then if they win a bowl game.
No, they lost 4 games.
Oh, they did. Okay,
Yeah.
8-4. They can't get to 10 wins.
That's
right.
that's what I said.
Yeah, so 8-4. And then there's Josh Heupel. Good 1 year. We'll learn a lot about what he's got in Nico Amalieva, but in this bowl game, as Brown told you earlier, he'll be starting in the bowl game for Tennessee. But, I mean, we all remember, we talked about it on the air, his UCF program was not doing what Scott Frost's UCF program was doing.
Well, I think if you ask any Tennessee fan, you get them a couple of bourbons at them and ask them, where are you on Heupel right now? Like last year was an A-plus job. They beat Alabama. The excitement around the program. Hendon Hooker was one of the best quarterbacks out there. The offense was so fluid. And this year they took steps back. They lost games. And I don't know, C+, B- year. You want to be able to build on these things and looking forward to the future. I don't know how good Tennessee's going to be.
Me either.
I know they got road games at Oklahoma and at Georgia, and they still got to play Alabama. So, I mean, that's everybody in the SEC now. You're never, I said this yesterday, you're never going to have one of those schedules where like, man, we avoid every single contender. No, you're never going to have that.
I think you're completely content in the SEC if you go 9-3, and the 3 losses are all really good losses.
You're a borderline playoff team.
Yeah, you feel like in the NFL, like, do you not feel like if Tampa gets in, Miami is obviously in, you're not going to be surprised if those teams, well, Tampa to the Super Bowl is a little much. But I mean, just get your team to the playoffs.
That's right. That's all I didn't want anything. I wanted the number 1 pick when the year started. And
you got the exact opposite.
We went on Sunday, we're in the playoffs. All right. When we come back, we will do our 4 downs today and then get to some more college football conversation in the final hour of the show. That is being brought to you by the wonderful folks at Coca-Cola, who once again want to thank all the folks who stopped by Piggly Wiggly and donated and helped feed those in need this holiday season with the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Your donations helped Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola provide some prepackaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. You can continue to donate through Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola and help feed those in need year-round with the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Visit thepigbham.com, thepigbham.com, or mypigglywiggly.com to find a location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season with our friends at Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
This hour brought to you by Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, the perfect place for all your holiday shopping. We are easy to find just off of I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. Just look for the big red building.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our not-for-all-ages podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
We're back, baby.
That's teamwork right there.
We're back, baby.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't know why you thought we hated each other.
I know. The way y'all went at it in one segment. Now y'all giving each other's gifts in the commercial breaks. Fantastic.
That's the way this family works up here, Jim.
It is.
Not everybody holds grudges.
I don't. Dude, tell everybody what I did without being asked yesterday with you.
Jim was very kind. You want me to tell you what Dunaway did? This was a very nice gesture by Jim. After the show yesterday, I had 3 extra shows to record. I had to do the Burnout with Peter Burns. I had to do Luganville and Ball, and then the 3 NFL videos with Daniel Jeremiah. So I was jammed up after the show.
All on our platform.
All Disrupt the Media. At Disrupt the Media.
Plus, he was having to do the frayed edges of our trip to Vegas and Los Angeles.
Some things I was having to tie up
he
there.
Was tying up
in between the shows.
I saw it was stacking up on my lifelong friend.
And Jim shows up with lunch. And he's like, I checked with everybody. You were taping with Luganville, so I couldn't ask you, so I just went and bought you lunch. I mean, that's a very nice gesture.
Yeah.
And I knew what kind of sandwiches liked. I didn't remember the condiments, so I went one with mayonnaise, one with spicy mustard, so he could choose.
Oh, he doesn't like mayonnaise.
I don't. So he let me have the spicy mustard and the extra peppers.
Yep.
Good sandwich?
Very good sandwich. I like that. So it's exactly what I order when I go there. Now, Rockstar makes fun of us that Jim would know exactly what I order when I go there, but Jim knew. I appreciate that, Jim, and I told you thank you.
I know. There was no grudges. No grudges.
You know I was kidding.
Okay, let's do our 4 downs. It's brought to you by our friends at Slice LT. Tell us about the great folks at Slice.
It's local pizza, local ingredients, 4 locations for you, created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His brothers continue his legacy. Jason and Chris, get in and see them today. Again, 4 locations, Vestavia, Lakeview, Montevallo, Crestline Park. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
People keep wanting me to have a football like McAfee does when he's standing during the show. Do we have a football back there?
We got a basketball. Remember when Pat was in studio on Halloween? He held that basketball the whole
You
time.
remember how pissy Dunaway was?
Yeah, he did not know Lance was going to
I'm
be.
so confused because you seem to lick McAfee up and down, but he's in studio and you're a dick to him.
No, we just didn't. That's the first year we've stayed in character the entire show.
Jim was not prepared for you to be a method actor.
Well, were you going to be Ken last year in character?
No, I just thought we wore the costume.
You told me not to be Tupac. You thought I would get canceled.
Let's do first down.
First down.
Who makes the college football playoffs first out of this group of interesting teams in some new locations next year? USC, Ole Miss, LSU, Penn State. Put in order those 4 right there when they go to the playoffs. Who goes first?
Right.
USC, Ole Miss, LSU, Penn State.
I'll take, in this order,
USC, Ole Miss, LSU, Penn State.
But I know we've got some stuff coming up on Ole Miss that we may or may not get to on the show today because I saw it on the cut sheet. So I was going to say it then, but I'll say it now since you've asked. That is going to be everybody's hot pick next year. I can just tell. Yeah, I can tell by the way it's going. It's going to be everybody's.
And I've already made my call. They don't make the playoffs.
Everybody's hot pick.
And that's the thing. Like, are they good enough? Yeah. I mean, were they good enough to make a 12 team this year? Probably. They're going to be better next year. But I would go LSU because everybody's going to be.
I think I'm with Lance.
I think they'll sneak up.
Yeah, I think we're there first.
And I think I would go Ole Miss number 2.
I think I'm there too.
I would go USC 3 and then Penn State 4.
Yeah. It's only gotten harder for Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State's going to have some issues.
I think for LSU, Ole Miss, and maybe USC, it's actually gotten a little bit easier with the playoff expansion. I think with the Big Ten growing, it's only gotten harder for Penn State.
Our audience over there goes LSU, Penn State, USC, Ole Miss in that order. I wonder how much of that is just tradition and helmets from Lone Soldier and Jay Price.
Well, I just think people don't trust Kiffin to 100% get this right.
Yeah. And if that LSU job, he can't leave Ole Miss.
Oh, he can and would.
If that
for the LSU job, you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Not with all those kids who just came to play for him for 1 year.
Yeah, he's good.
He'd walk backwards to Baton Rouge instead of way.
USC with that schedule, Sharkbait says, question mark. Tough schedule, I guess.
Everybody's got a tough schedule. But remember, 2 or 3 losses ain't killing you anymore.
2 losses doesn't kill you.
Nah.
There'll be multiple 2-loss teams in playoffs. Let's do second down.
Second down.
Most likely to not repeat their playoff appearance next year of the 4 teams we have this year. Which one is most likely not to be?
Well, you guys sold out Michigan pretty quickly. I think I'd sell Washington before
I
I'd
would
sell
still
Michigan.
watch. I mean, if Washington in year 1 in the Big Ten.
You just put Kalen DeBoer in the top 5 of coaches.
He is, but he's going to lose a ton.
Everybody loses a ton every year, Lance.
Yeah, but it's a little different Washington when you look at the recruiting. So I would say that Washington, I would be shocked if they're in the 14 playoff next year.
Yeah, I would too.
As good as DeBoer is.
Why did you guys sell Michigan so quick?
They're just losing a lot.
I know they are.
It's a heavy senior group.
But
and there's a chance that Harbaugh goes away.
Well, and there's that chance. But now he is recruiting at the same level the Big Ten is recruiting. This is not about winning a national championship. This is just about being the best of your conference. And while they may not be recruiting with the SEC powers, they're recruiting right up there with the rest of the Big Ten. So I've just got to believe his roster is good enough that he'll contend next year.
Washington seemed to be the biggest quick answer over there. Keith says Michigan has a T.
Don't know what he means there. Michigan.
I don't know. Let's do fourth down. Oh, third down. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Third down.
Third down.
Which made more money in 2023? The Eras Tour? No, excuse me. Not more money. For the economy. Giving back to the U.S. economy. More money for the U.S. economy. The Eras Tour Taylor Swift or gift cards in the U.S.?
Well, because you asked the question, I would say the Eras Tour.
I think it's going to be gift cards. Didn't we discuss this in the most recent Mystery Fifth Hour? How much money is just left on gift cards every year?
Yep. Gift cards is a $6.9 billion a year industry. The Eras Tour created a $4.3 billion boost to local economy.
You know what? When you said gift card, I was thinking greeting card.
Oh, yeah. Greeting card's kind of dead.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about, $20,000 or $10,000 in gift cards yesterday from Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, LT. It is greeting cards. I read that wrong. $6.9 billion.
I kind of thought it was a dumb question.
Greeting cards.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was a dumb question, but I didn't want to kill you because I know we're on edge.
It does make more sense with gift card or with greeting cards.
Yeah, now with greeting cards, I'd go the Eras Tour.
I mean, do you guys buy
greeting cards? Beat them by almost $2 billion.
I did not buy one card
Me either.
This Christmas.
You know, my wife gave me a very kind gift a couple of years ago in stationery, like personalized stationery. So I do some handwritten notes to people. But I can't tell you the last time I bought a greeting card.
Me.
Jim, I see you every day. I don't need to give you a handwritten note.
Let's do fourth down.
Third down.
On fourth down here, Brock Purdy or Nick Chubb, which NFL career surprised you the most? Nick Chubb, did you think he was going to be better and has disappointed? Or Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy, not even close. Nick Chubb's been fantastic when he's healthy.
Yeah, when he's healthy.
Yeah, he's been incredible. So Brock Purdy, I never thought that he would be on an NFL roster, much less, in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Both of their birthdays today. They share a birthday. How about that?
Yeah, better career when it's all said and done. Brock Purdy or Nick Chubb?
Brock Purdy.
I think it'll be Brock Purdy.
Brock
too.
Purdy, 24.
24. Yep.
Nick Chubb, 24.
Had him at 25, but I may be wrong. I never know if these birthday sites move it a year forward or not.
Yeah. I got a little NFL breaking news.
Okay, breaking news from Brownie. That was 4 Downs, brought to you by Slice. What's the breaking news?
And this makes you wonder if a divorce is in the offing here.
Oh, please don't say Justin Timberlake.
What does he have to do with the NFL?
We used to have a bet a long time ago.
Well, I know, but it's
I wanted
NFL
it to
breaking
last
news.
forever.
According to Adam Schefter of ESPN, Sean Payton has informed his team that Jarrett Stidham will get the start Sunday versus the Chargers.
You know, everyone was talking on those shows, the pre- and post-game shows this past week in the NFL, that they did not feel like Sean Payton and Russell Wilson would be together next year.
There is, I think they have an out in the contract, and if they don't exercise the out, they're on the hook for $37 million. So I think it's a pretty good chance they're not together next year. Could you imagine continuing to pay Russell Wilson for what you've got out of him this year?
A little better this year.
No, Russell Wilson was, I mean, for a good stretch when they were winning games, he was really good.
Yeah, but that kind of money, though, is what I'm saying. $37 million is what you'd be on the hook for. But they're going to go to Jarrett Stidham. So, I mean, there's no way Sean Payton thinks Jarrett Stidham's the future of that franchise, right?
No.
Yeah, I mean, so what does that tell you, that they're going to play him?
Can you imagine?
By the way, Easton Stick, the better quarterback in that game.
Jace, by the way, Seahawks fleeced the Broncos. They really did.
They really did.
They really did.
I mean, the Seahawks could be in the playoffs again, probably, and the Broncos, I mean, they have been a mess.
Bob's right. Peyton absolutely destroys Wilson on the sidelines during the games. He did this past week. I would say if the NFL had the transfer portal, not free agency, where any backup quarterback can move around, I don't know if it would be any crazier than this year we've just had at quarterbacks in the NFL. So many backup quarterbacks like Easton Stick.
Yeah, but to Lance's point, I mean, Easton Stick's probably the better quarterback in that game over Jarrett Stidham.
And Joe Flacco has come out of basically retirement. Jets dump him, and he comes out of nowhere and goes back-to-back 300-yard games.
Yeah, it's got them in the playoffs.
Have we heard anything about Tommy DeVito, whether him or Tyrod Taylor will start against
Taylor's
my Rams?
starting. That's all the reports is that Tyrod Taylor's starting. You wanted DeVito, didn't you?
Bad.
Yeah, I know. Tyrod Taylor is starting. I mean, Tyrod Taylor, final possession of that game. Did y'all watch that game?
Oh, yeah.
He had a guy open for a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah.
And they still got to go for 2 there.
And he had plenty of time, too.
He had a guy, I mean, a walk-in touchdown on that final possession and missed him.
Russell Wilson to Tampa Bay, no thank you. I'd rather have Baker Mayfield.
The way Baker's playing right now, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, one more almost hour to go here on the show, being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services, LT. Tell us about those fine
Since
folks.
1954, family-owned and operated. They are the name that Birmingham has trusted for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Tell them the next round sent you. $69 tune-up right now. It's hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour brought to you by Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, the perfect place for all your holiday shopping. We are easy to find just off of I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. Just look for the big red building.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
This holiday season, give the gift of peace and security to your home with $50 off recurring Wayne's Pest Control Services. As the weather cools down, stop mice, bed bugs, and rodents before they come in. Call 866-WAYNES-1 to gift yourself a safe and pest-free home. Sign up for any recurring service with Wayne's and save $50 off. Don't let mice and rats be uninvited guests to your holiday celebrations. Get a pest-free holiday and save $50 off recurring Wayne's Pest Control Services when you call 866-WAYNES-1.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever?
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
A little bit later on this hour, you're going to hear from Jalen Milroe, Lane Kiffin, a couple of Kalen DeBoer bites. Before we get to the phone lines, give me cut 5, Tyler, if you will, man. The guys arrived at the Orange Bowl, Kirby Smart and Mike Norvell. And listen, these bowl games, all the New Year's Six bowls operate the same way. Like Alabama and Michigan arrived yesterday. And fortunately, we got them getting off the buses. Yeah, we sent that out from Next Round Live. Alabama and Michigan arriving out at Pasadena, LAX, Los Angeles.
Everybody was handed a rose, right?
Here's Bama right here, getting off here with the roses on the parade. Yeah, they give you the roses when you get off.
Yeah.
So everybody got off.
You're on The Bachelor.
There's Saban walking in. There's our guys, a little link action.
Yeah.
There's the roses to take to the room.
How nice. Get a rose.
All those roses there. Dethorned, I hope. Nobody injured in the making of this.
Well, he's got one in his mouth, so I hope it's dethorned.
And then here comes, it's good for the gram to have that rose already.
Oh, yeah.
And then Michigan got off their bus. Jim Harbaugh was there, business trip for Harbaugh and all that.
Yeah.
So there are the Michigan kids arriving. So everybody works the same. And then there's always the interviews. Either you're by a bus or a jet when you're on these things. And, well, let's just listen to what Kirby Smart and Mike Norvell had to say about their Orange Bowl matchup. Hit it, man.
All right.
Starter, here for the Orange Bowl, and you're definitely excited to see him take a step. His first start to the second start, a lot of confidence in what he'll be able to do and what he'll be able to accomplish. So that's part of the new age of college athletics, and I know Brock's going to be fired up.
All right, man. All right.
So was that in the engine?
Yeah,
or
I mean, the Orange Bowl did not have their audio game going yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, a couple of things. These people do this for a living. You got to figure that the audio is not going to be good, and then why would you even release it?
I know, that was sent out. No, if I saw it right, Scotty, that was sent out by the playoff, right? The actual college football
That
playoff
is
was like,
unbelievable. At least subtitle it, right?
I mean, nothing is going right for the Orange Bowl this year. They've got all these opt-outs. Florida State's not happy to be there.
How amazing would it have been if Kirby right there had said, after thinking about it, it's going to be my final game as Georgia coach. I've really enjoyed my time here. But
I wanted to say it right here on the tarmac.
That's right.
This is going to be my last game ever.
No, I want to get it out of the way so it's not a distraction this week.
I mean, would you be surprised Georgia, Florida State fans get down there and they're like, you know what? I'm pretty comfortable in this cabana. I'm just going to watch a game from here because it's a pain in the ass to get to Hard Rock. Yeah. We've been there multiple times. And the ticket, what do you think? You pick one up off the ground probably?
Oh, yeah, they're giving tickets away to that game. I mean, I would imagine Florida State fans have, and Georgia fans are going to go. We've seen it in this state, right? When you don't make the playoff, it's the year where you're like, hey, we don't have to spend that money, baby. Let's spend a little bit more on the kids at Christmas. It's just the Orange Bowl, no big deal. Let's save it for next year. college football playoff next year. We're going to want to go to that.
Let's go to Jeff in Anniston as we're moving this hour. Brought to you by our friends at Champy's. Champy's world-famous fried chicken. Highway 119 in Alabaster. The fried chicken is so good. They brine it overnight. They cook it to order when you come in. I love the 2 big breasts. My wife loves the dark meat, all the wonderful sides there that you get. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. There's no place like it. Champy'sChicken.com. Hey, Jeff in Anniston. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. Damn, that sounds good. I think that audio tech opted out of the bowl game, too.
That's the perfect line. I was looking for that line. There you go.
And first I want to say, though, is last week I thought Rocky had the Susan Boyle moment on the next round. I mean, seriously, that was one of the most amazing things I'd seen. And I will rewatch that several times. But talk about Grace under pressure. He was excellent.
When he was performing basically his live audition for the Floribama people.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I'd never heard that
y'all
song
get to see
like
that all
that.
the time.
Yeah, but I'd never heard
the
that
Bee
song
Gees,
like that. Yeah,
that's pretty impressive, Jeff. He has not been offered a gig yet, though. We'll say that.
Wow, interesting.
Wow. Okay. And did y'all consciously decide to not do polls like y'all used to? Because y'all used to do 2 or 3 polls a day, it seemed like.
I don't think there was a conscious decision. No, I just think it kind of.
I tried to get one going the other day.
Yeah, I don't know. We just kind of quit doing it. There was no conscious decision.
Yeah, I think Little T has been busy, and
she has a lot on her plate. Taylor, let's do a poll. Did you decide to stop doing polls? Oh, she's not even here today. She's in Nashville.
Oh, but she's paying attention though. I think she's watching the show. So what should we do? What poll would you want us to do right now, Jeff? Give us a poll.
Y'all used to do a couple a day. It seemed like who used to do them all the time.
Taylor does them, but
it
requires us to say, "Hey, Taylor, let's put out a poll."
Okay, so better coach in the Sugar Bowl, Steve Sarkisian or Kalen DeBoer?
Okay, there you go, Little T.
Well, now you're getting on a question I want to ask you.
Okay. We'll see.
I don't want to get into the mind of Jeff, but go ahead.
And this has been a wonderful lineup of spring games being played in December by a bunch of average programs this week and last. And I used to get so damn excited about bowl week, and then people like Brown just ruined it.
What did I do?
Well, just call them exhibitions.
Well,
they don't mean nothing. Everybody, that's about the time everybody started not playing in them and everything,
fault.
too.
But, Jeff, when you were growing up, were bowl games exhibitions?
No, they're playing the game and keeping score, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but what's it for?
Yeah, but
why are you playing during the season?
Well, because there is a national championship or a conference
Not when
championship
you've got 2 or 3 losses.
on the line.
Should you just quit playing if you lose 2 or 3 games?
No, but those games
Jeff.
matter. They're regular season games. These are postseason games.
So don't even keep score then. Why ain't keep score? Just go out there and let them throw it around a little bit and go in like an all-star game. It doesn't mean anything. This next okay, that's what I'm talking about right there. All right. More irritating character in the movie, Harry Connick Jr. in Independence Day or Jar Jar Binks in any damn thing?
I never saw Jar Jar. I know the character you're talking about.
Is that Star Wars?
Yes.
Now, which one is he on Star Wars? Is he the one that's got the eyes on the side of his head like that?
With the floppy ears?
You have to bring Lunsford in here, Tyler.
Yeah, well, he's
Jamaican or something, speaks Jamaican. Luke has had every ethnicity.
That's not who I was thinking of. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Does he
It's
finally
tough,
get?
but at least Harry Connick Jr. died in Independence.
Well, I was going to
Day.
ask if Jar Jar Binks gets taken out in any of these.
Not the ones I saw, unfortunately. They did. Well, they killed him off as far as being a major character in the movie after the backlash of Phantom Menace, but because he was supposed to be the breakout, like C-3PO and all that, but people could not stand it.
Huh.
And I was one of them. All right. And I know it's hard to overlook that one's a semifinal and another one's would be a national championship, but which would be a more bitter pill to swallow for Bama fans, a loss to Michigan or a second loss to Texas?
I think the second loss to Texas would be really tough. I mean, obviously Alabama wants to play for a national championship, but if you lose twice to Sarkisian in one season.
Yes. Yeah, that's
do you think, Jeff, it is impacted by the fact that Texas is coming to the conference?
It does. Yeah,
I think it would have to be
Texas.
Texas.
It's just that it's Texas.
Well, but
that's a big part of it.
But to your point, Brand, they're coming to our conference. You know,
Well, and
traditional SEC team, they're coming to our conference.
And they come in as the king.
They come in as national champion and beat us twice.
Beat Alabama twice.
I'll say this, Jeff. Alabama fans are super confident against Michigan. If Alabama plays Texas again, I would be super confident that Alabama beats Texas.
Oof. That'd
Super
be a good one.
I would rather play Texas than
playing
Washington.
good ball right now.
I would.
Yeah, I'd rather play Washington.
Ooh.
I don't want anything to do either, but
I don't want anything to do with Washington.
So you think
I don't want to lose twice to Texas. That's my thing. I don't want to lose twice to them. But.
I think Alabama's degree of difficulty is Washington, Texas, Michigan.
So you think Washington beats Texas?
Not necessarily. I'm talking about Alabama playing
okay.
Washington.
Gotcha.
I don't want Alabama's DBs, which is their strong point of the team, I understand, battling those receivers with Michael Penix Jr., who could go out there and have an unbelievable day throwing the football, or a bad day, but an unbelievable day. He has the ability to put 400
I mean,
on
viewers can do that. I said this last night. I was having a conversation, Jeff. I really believe that if any of these four teams won the national championship, it would not shock me. And almost every year we have a team going in, and you're like, they can't win 2 games.
No chance, right? Yeah, you usually have a hard time finding that 14. But
Nichols said he'd rather play Washington all day, he says.
I would, but maybe as much, like I said, I just don't want to lose to Texas twice. But who do y'all think starts next year for Oregon, Gabriel or Dante Moore?
Gabriel.
Hey, and so watch, if you get a chance, I don't know if you've ever watched Spittin' Luke's with Tom Luganbill, but I asked him that question because I thought it was strange that both transferred there. There's no way Gabriel's going for his final year of eligibility. He'll be the most seasoned quarterback, the most seasoned player in college football next year. But he had the point, there's a good chance Gabriel goes there. Dante Moore, who originally committed to Oregon before he went to UCLA, comes in red shirts next year, plays in 4 games, and knows that it is his job in the future.
Right. Do you think Gabriel saw Nick have such success and said, damn, I can surely do that?
Probably.
Yeah, I would think so.
Not to put down Nick's, but better career singer-songwriter, Jim Croce, Harry Chapin, or Cat Stevens?
Ooh.
I think most would say Cat Stevens. I mean, did Jim Croce ever do anything that was not depressing?
Okay, wait a second. Just
Here we go.
Throw out one. Let me see if I can name
Jim Croce.
Jim Croce, is that the one where Dad won't play with me? The dad won't play
No,
with
that's
me?
Harry Chapin.
Yeah.
That's Harry Chapin.
That's Cats
in the Cradle is what you're thinking of, right?
Time in a Bottle.
Time in a Bottle.
Is Jim Croce?
Madly Roy Bound.
Time in a bottle.
Nobody messed around with Jim.
Yeah, I did not like that song.
Miserable music.
Yeah. Now Cat Stevens.
Miserable music.
Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens.
And for the record, I don't like any of the 3.
I don't either.
You like Harry Chapin? Oh,
no.
Come on, people now.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No.
Smile on my brother, everybody.
Is that Cat Stevens?
That is not.
I think that's the Youngbloods or something like that.
It is not Cat Stevens.
Peach Train and Year of the Cat and Wild Wild World.
Oh,
what is Moon?
Year of the Cat.
Moon.
Is it always the Year of the Cat?
It is in my house.
What is the song you did, Jeff, that's got Moon in the title? Moon.
Dancing. I think that's Van Morrison.
No. There's a Cat Stevens
No,
song.
I like Van Morrison.
Oh. I'm not sure, Brownie.
I'll look it up.
Okay, if I let you pick 3 teams in the NFL, what's your level of confidence?
Moonshadow, Cat Stevens.
Moonshadow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're right. If I give you 3 teams, if you get to pick 3 teams in the NFL, I know I've asked a version of this all year, but I'll keep narrowing it down. I give you 3 teams to pick. What percent do you think are you confident that you would get the Super Bowl champ?
I would say 95%.
And you would pick Baltimore, San Francisco, and who?
Baltimore, San Francisco, and I will take the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So you think one of them 3 for sure is probably going to win it?
Yep. I think San Francisco for sure is representing the NFC. I know at lasting impression, Brock Purdy ain't turning it over like that again. And in the AFC, I think it's going to come down to Baltimore and Buffalo.
I would go Baltimore, San Francisco.
Don't say my Rams.
I wouldn't say your Rams.
Don't say my Dolphins.
Y'all laugh it up.
Yeah.
I will say this: if Miami can find a way to get home field, they are tough to beat in Miami. They're not a great road team, But if the AFC went through Miami, how would you feel about it?
I would feel different.
They're pretty good at home.
Yeah. I'm just saying Miami or Dallas would be my third of the two.
Dallas?
I wouldn't go Buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any confidence.
Dallas has got the talent, but Dallas would have to win not one, multiple big games, and they can't win one big game.
And where would those games be? Would they be in Dallas?
No.
That's your problem. They don't win road games.
Because right now they have to go on the road to Tampa.
Yeah.
If Tampa wins on Saturday.
So y'all would feel more confident picking the Super Bowl champ out of 3 teams than you would picking the college champ out of 1 team, wouldn't you? Because it is. Would you, or do you feel more confident in it?
No, I do think all 4 teams have a chance to win it in college for the first time ever.
I would feel more confident picking Alabama to win it all than picking an NFL team to win it all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Brownie.
No, I wouldn't.
I would.
I would.
I
would
let
rather
you
have
pick
San Francisco than any
So
of these
you would
4
pick San
teams.
Francisco to win it all before you pick Alabama to win it all?
I would.
Brett throws Detroit into the mix. He goes San Francisco, Baltimore, Detroit.
Oh, man, I just don't buy him.
Again, I mean, Detroit, they're doing things they've never done before. So
I mean, they could end up with a 1 seed, though.
All right, 2 things real quick. Rank quarterbacks 1 through 4 in the playoffs.
So I would go Penix 1, yours 2, Milroe 3, and McCarthy 4.
I'm with Lance.
I would go Milroe ahead of yours, the way they're playing right now. But I would put Penix 1 and McCarthy 4th. Milroe 2, yours 3.
Coaches is Saban 1.
I'd go to DeBoer 2. I would go
Over
Harbaugh 3,
really?
and I'd go Sarkisian 4.
I think I'd go Harbaugh, DeBoer, then Sark.
I would go Saban, Sark, DeBoer, Harbaugh.
I got to point this out. Sark was 34-29 at Washington.
I know.
Dunaway
is all on board, though.
Are we playing? Is this Sark at USC? Is this Sark at Washington? Or is this Sark at Texas?
No, I'm just saying that the better coach is Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
He is.
All right, one more of them, and then a statement. I'll let y'all go. Rank 1 through 4, sexiest man: Teddy Atlas, Steve Buscemi, Danny Trejo, or DJ Qualls.
I would go Teddy Atlas 1.
DJ Qualls has got a baby face at least. I mean, the problem with
any of these people are.
Danny Trejo gets rougher and rougher. Like, I don't know how he can look any rougher in life.
I know.
But he gets rougher and rougher the older he gets.
And I don't think Buscemi's great, but I think they make him look worse for roles.
Yeah, I do too. I think if Buscemi would just go to a dentist,
I
think it would take care of half his problems.
I think I go Teddy Atlas, Steve Buscemi, DJ Qualls, and Danny Trejo in that order.
You talking about Trejo the worst?
Yeah, he's worse.
Yeah, I would say Trejo, Buscemi.
Teddy Atlas is rough.
Yeah, I would go Atlas, and then I would go DJ Qualls. I mean, DJ Qualls is just a Q-tip with ears.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it, man.
Wait, last thing on recruiting. Just imagine being Saban telling a recruit, if 12-team playoffs were around since 2008, we would have been in 16 of 17 straight playoffs, maybe 17. Y'all have a safe trip and Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too, Jeff.
What year would they have missed?
10, probably. That was a 3-loss team in 10. That was going to be tough to make it.
Better chance there's a 3-loss team next year or not? If you had to put your money
I
on
would
it.
say better there's not a 3-loss team.
Okay.
So
I think there'll be a 3-loss team in.
I do too.
There's a better chance there isn't than there is.
Yeah,
that's
maybe,
what you asked me.
Yeah, but I do feel like there will be a 3-loss team in next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a conference champion that's 3-loss.
Yep.
I wouldn't think so, but you could.
Robin, you're right. Harbaugh does win everywhere he goes. Absolutely, he's done.
Yeah, you're Sark's your boy.
Yeah, Harbaugh does win everywhere he goes, though. All right, when we come back, we'll get to trash. Show being brought to you by a couple of great folks, including the folks at Redmont Vodka, Charles Barkley's company.
8 times distilled, gluten-free, great, it was great stocking stuffer, but it's a great way to bring in the new year. If you're having one of these New Year's Eve parties, make sure you take a bottle of Redmont vodka, now available in the handles, locally owned and operated, available in 22 states. Ask for it by name, and it's Redmont vodka.
And is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? That's a bold question, but it's got that irresistible taste. I'm about to back that up with another swig. It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears or your eyes right now, but you can taste it at your local store. Go answer the question yourself. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Find out this new year.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Are you ready to make this holiday season one to remember? Legacy Credit Union is here to make your dreams come true with their lifestyle loans. Whether you need a little extra cash for gifts or you want to take that unforgettable holiday vacation, Legacy has the right loan for you. With affordable monthly payments, flexible terms, and absolutely no collateral required, Legacy Credit Union is your trusted partner for your stress-free holiday season. Apply in minutes. Go to LegacyCreditUnion.com to get the financial support you need to enjoy the holidays to the fullest. Again, LegacyCreditUnion.com.
Some restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice. Stop unwanted guests. Save $50 from our friends at Wayne's right now. Call 866-WAYNES-1 this holiday season. Give the gift of peace and security to your home and family with a $50 off recurring Wayne's Pest Control services. Keep your celebrations joyful and free of unwanted critters this holiday and beyond. At Wayne's Pest Control, we don't just promise short-term fixes. We promise year-round protection for your home, keeping your family, children, and pets safe. Again, call 866-WAYNES-1 today. That's 866-WAYNES-1.
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest, or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store. The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself, or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. Nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbeham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
They never tell me anything. Trash in just a second. This hour brought to you by Champy's Chicken and also by our friends at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag. You'd have been proud of me Sunday, LT.
What?
Thought I was going to be proud. I hit a 3-team NFL parlay.
You were become Floyd Mayweather. You don't lose.
And dude, I lost 2 last night. I told you I lost 2 last night. But the one I hit on Sunday was you would have been proud of me because I went underdogs on most of them. And I was like, I didn't play the favorites. I hit this parlay, including the Ravens. And I was like, LT would have been proud of this one. MyBookie.ag. Virginia Tech, 11-point favorite in their game against Tulane today. West Virginia favored 6 against North Carolina. Louisville favored 6.5 against USC. And Oklahoma State favored 3.5 against Texas A&M. In the championship games, or the semifinals, I should say, Michigan's still a 1.5 favorite. And Texas a 4-point favorite over Washington. That's at mybookie.ag. I'm going to play a 14 parlay on this. I'm taking Tulane.
The college games?
Taking Tulane in the points.
You may want to write this down.
I've already sent mine out.
I'm going to check against them. No facial reaction by me.
Yeah, I'm taking Tulane in the points. I'm West Virginia in giving the points. I am Louisville giving the points. And I am Oklahoma State in giving the points. So I'm one underdog, and that's my 14 parlay today.
You can play those games. MyBookie.ag, code next round. You sign on, you make your initial deposit. They give you a bonus up to $1,000, and you can play with that money right away. MyBookie.ag, code next round to get that bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
Yeah, Little T and I are the parlay king, and what's an old character in
fairy tales. The
queen?
No, she's the parlay queen.
Geppetto, you're the bricklayer.
The bricklayer, the parlay bricklayer. All right, trash time. Trash time brought to you by Mortgage Right. Hit it.
So I have everything set up. Well, it starts filling in, getting crowded. I'm ready for the game. I'm all excited. About an hour before the game, I have a tap on my shoulder. And I turn around and look. And he's like, hey, you're in my seat. And I was like, no, this is my seat. And he's like, no, I'm with WJOX. This is my seat. And I was like, I don't know how to make it work because I knew who Ryan Brown was. Yeah. And spoiler alert, it was Ryan Brown that was doing this to me.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, Forrester's right. If we had a drinking game with the word parlay,
I know.
Rest in peace, everyone. I guarantee you can't go a show without saying parlay.
I bet I can.
You want to bet?
I'm sorry, LT. I was just trying to set up a my bookie read for my buddy over there.
Yeah.
I'll just point out what Scotty said.
It's fine. Well, they're in a bad mood back there today. I'm not going to engage them.
Wow. We're not allowed to fight anymore.
I thought you were going to sit down this segment.
Oh, I do want to sit down.
Hey, are you a veteran looking for a VA loan? Mortgage Right has been advocating for veterans since their company began. As a veteran-owned, operated company committed to your well-being, they can help you find the best terms available, guide you through every single step of the process. You can visit them right there, Highway 280 in Birmingham. You can apply at mortgageright.com/TNR. Call 205-815-9200. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. We start first.
The music.
I don't know.
Tyler runs it a little higher than Rockstar does. I like.
Now, I brought this up at the floor, Bama, and everybody thought I was demented and that I was being a little morbid with this. But the Santa drop, I brought up a point. If his chute doesn't open, it's going to be bad stuff, right?
Yes,
it would be bad.
Well, I mean, a lot of kids out there. It's going to be hard to unsee Santa hurtling into the earth.
This has happened.
Oh, dear.
Yep. Children watched in disbelief as Grandfather Frost, the Russian Santa, plummeted to his death from a 24th floor of a high-rise residential building.
I think these kids are about to learn how the Russian mob takes care of people. I think Grandfather Frost might have been behind on his payments.
Hey, look, that is a free fall right there.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You know what happened to Grandfather Frost? Lost too many parlays.
That's right.
Now, the stunt took a catastrophic turn as the industrial climber turned Santa for the night had planned to scale down the tower block in Russia. Once at the bottom, he was due to meet and greet the youngsters who were waiting patiently beside a Christmas tree. Although it's not known exactly why the experienced climber fell to his death, one theory suggests that a possible mix-up of his safety ropes could have led to the tragic incident.
You do not want to mix up the safety ropes.
Now, it was initially believed by onlookers the fall was part of an act, as they weren't immediately aware of the tragedy that had just unfolded. Residential management company that hosted the event apologized and added the man was, quote, an experienced specialist, adding, quote, today's holiday turned into a monstrous misfortune.
Did you connect the safety ropes? I thought you were doing it.
Grandfather Frost behind on his payments.
I mean, the only thing worse would have been if he would have landed on the tree, right?
Grandfather Frost
impales him.
Yes.
I mean, it's supposed to be Santa. Why are they making him act like Spider-Man?
Santa's magical. He's supposed to be able to do anything. He can fly, right?
No, but I
mean, how the sleigh didn't come catch him? Because I think it did in one of these Santa movies. I forgot which one.
Yeah. So this was not Miracle on the 24th floor?
No. Okay, let's just say, hypothetically, you were having sex and your dog attacked you. What would you do?
Well, you get rid of the dog first.
I would probably give him my wow face.
Scott Thurston, 32 years old, bitten by a 2-year-old dog, Hank, in his home in Wales on August 2nd. His partner, Leanne Bell, called the police in the early hours of the morning.
Why did she call the police?
Yes.
Look, he's got his junk in his mouth.
Hello, officer.
How about a doctor?
Now, the court yesterday ordered the dog be destroyed after 28 days.
Now were you killing the dog?
It's really sad. I think the dog should be rehomed.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
The order was.
I'm gonna side with the dog here. She can do better than this geeky guy she's having sex with. The dog knew better.
Looks like our boy Connor Aguirre.
Wow.
Sorry, Connor.
Well, he done it a little bit.
I had glasses and the beard. I don't see a ton of Connor. I think the red beer and the glasses.
Yeah, the red beer.
Yeah,
and the
that's
glasses,
it.
probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, order was granted due to, quote, significant safeguarding concerns over the dog with 4 young children in the household. Body cam footage from the incident showed police arriving at the property. Mr. Thurston attempting to muzzle the dog in the garden. Miss Bell was heard saying to 2 officers, quote, I've got 4 kids. I love the dog, but I can't have him around my kids.
Read that paragraph again. It sounds like an episode of Clue. Mr. Thurston's doing what in the garden?
Mr. Thurston was trying to muzzle the dog in the garden.
You think he reapplied clothing before doing this?
Now, when he began having sex, the dog actually bit him in the left forearm and on the chin. Declined to go to the hospital.
Cockblocker. This is what I live with. I cannot touch Maggie without Charlie attacking me. He tries to bite me.
Why do you leave him on the loose? Like when you're interested in doing that, why not just lock him up in the bathroom?
Well, sometimes, Brown, you want to be spontaneous.
Well, I mean, I think that's your way of showing Maggie.
So I have figured out.
So when I put the dog out or put him in a different room and shut the door,
that's right.
The spontaneity's over. She knows what the audible is. She's all of a sudden she's Connor Stallion. She knows the play I'm about to run.
Dunaway loves living in a romantic comedy, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
I mean,
so when I adopted Chili, like I could tell she's going to be a really good dog. Wasn't overly affectionate, and I think it's because of where she came from. I don't think she was given the best care and affection.
Which one is the one that lived in the wild?
That's Bullet. But when I got Bullet seemed like the sweetest dog, which he is. But Bullet is, we'll call him different. And he's got serious anxiety, so he can't really sleep. He can't be still. And it's really sad because I think he's like
survival mode,
sensory overload. Yeah, it's nonstop survival. It's I've got to eat when I can eat. I'm going to piss everywhere I piss, and I can't relax at any point. And so I've got to figure out. I've got him on CBD right now, but I've got to figure out something because he is the root of my problem right now. Like Chili,
so it's back to Bullet's the problem.
It's definitely Bullet.
Because for a moment it was Chili.
Yeah, it's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
Now Chili is a straight up bitch. There's no doubt. But,
female dog.
Yep. So
which one is this?
Is
this Bullet or Chili?
That's Bullet. That's before we got him clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bullet.
Have you wore that shirt since?
It's in my back seat, not but he actually he's the trouble, and I don't know what to do. I've thought about rehoming him, but I can't do it. I've got somebody that wants him too.
What's our issue? Just his behavior?
Well, just because he is so scarred. I think he's got
PTSD.
PTSD, yeah.
I mean, it's survival, man. He had to survive for how many days was he in the woods?
I mean, my man Rab thinks it was weeks to a month.
Yeah, so he's a month in the woods surviving. I mean, you turned on something, you can't turn it off.
It's hard, and he went to creative, and they did everything they could, and he's just, he's tough. But I've got somebody that wants him, so I've thought about that, but boy, I feel like I'm tapping out on him.
No, is it a place that's big and he can roam a big farm?
Yeah, send him to the farm.
It's actually a military guy that's got another Vizsla that actually takes his Vizsla to the dog park every day, and his dog lives a good life.
I think that's what this dog would want.
Yeah, do this. Let the dog run.
Yeah.
He needs to run.
Yeah. Cops say Noah Perez, 43, was waiting for an order to be placed Wednesday evening in the meat market in High Point when he belched. Now, the burping quote upset a male suspect who was inside of the Hispanic meat market at the time, according to Officer Jerry True. When Perez exited the building with a female companion, the suspect was, quote, outside with 3 other Hispanic males. Suspect punched Perez in the face, kicked him in the hand. The assailant and his associates then got into a car and left the scene. Perez, a self-employed construction worker who lives nearby, suffered a contusion over his left eye but declined a police officer of medical assistance. The suspect remains at large. So, I wouldn't appreciate somebody belching in public, but I think it's a little much to probably kick them in the head.
No,
right?
I don't think I'll physically assault them. Just move away.
Like, did they jump up in my face and do it intentionally in my face? That's different, but just accidentally doing it, no.
Okay, Charleston just gave me help.
She's saying 2 years staying there.
We have a rescue that's very similar. We're now 2 years in and things are much better. I'm waiting for that.
So she's saying just time is.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think Lady Bird was the best dog in the world overnight. I think it took a little bit of grooming. So maybe they can get there.
Yeah.
Is that bad that I call them out on Lady Bird all the time? Why can't you do it like she did it?
I was going to say, I do think one of the issues is that these dogs are trying to live up to a very high standard. You love that dog more than any dog you've ever had.
And they have to walk under Lady Bird's portrait every day.
Yeah. Oil painting? Daniel A. Moore do it?
No, somebody did it though. I got I got a portrait done 2 years ago for Ladybird and for Isabel.
Yeah.
Both dogs that are no longer in my life.
That's right.
Was it Ladybird winning the race at
No,
Herdman Park?
Ladybird got smoked. Remember, she went the wrong way.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yes. Yeah.
You guys,
is that the painting? Wrong way, Ladybird?
How about this? A woman has been slammed for revealing how she wants to name her daughter after the dating app she met her husband on.
Bumble?
Now, the mom-to-be, who's 7 months pregnant, met her husband on Tinder and wants to celebrate their love for each other through the firstborn's name. In a Facebook post, which has since been shared on Reddit, she said, quote, "I've been fighting with my husband because he doesn't like the name I picked out. I want to name her Tinder Lee."
What if the husband wanted to name her Grinder?
We met on Tinder a little over a year ago. The site helped me find my true love, and I think the name is perfect. Now, she says her husband thinks the name is, quote, embarrassing, could negatively impact the family, especially their daughter, throughout life.
I'm going to ride with the husband here.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I had a buddy, Chris, growing up in high school, and I remember his mom telling us early, like we were in middle school, that she wanted to name him Nicholas, or he told me this, and then she confirmed it. But the mom didn't want to name him Nicholas because she was afraid everybody would call him Nick the Dick.
Jeez.
Wow.
I mean, that's...
Well, I'm just saying, I think some parents think this stuff out. I think Tinder Lee could be a name that she would get made fun of for.
Probably so. I mean, I do think that that's the case. I'm just saying Nicholas is a more common name. That was a direct hit.
How about
Scott gave you a thumbs up?
How about Saint Nick? If he's a nice kid, that'd be Saint Nick.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Finally, 6 craziest Florida man and woman stories of 2023. Do we
We're
have
already
this,
to the end of the year.
Tyler?
See if we
Here we
remember
go.
this.
Florida man caught driving booty patrol truck faces charges.
I remember this one.
I remember the booty patrol.
Yep.
Next one, Florida woman calls for Sugar Daddy Appreciation Day at board meeting.
I remember this too. And we debated, was that her sugar daddy behind her? The way he's smiling, I believe yes is the answer.
Well, no, he was just happy about the possible holiday for all of us sugar daddies out there.
yes.
Yeah.
The next one, shirtless Florida man found climbing a tree like Tarzan after police chase.
Do not remember this
I don't
one.
remember this one either.
Yeah.
It doesn't look safe.
Okay, zoom in even more. He's like swinging from limb to limb.
Is this a dude that jumped out of the stands Monday Night Football and caught the extra point?
Oh, could be. Yeah,
Do
that
you
was
guys
a Bears
remember that?
game. Yeah, it was a Bears game,
That's
right?
unbelievable.
That was a
That
long
was really
fall.
good, yeah.
Yeah, and this landed and rolled.
I know.
Boy, every bone in my body would shatter if I tried that
It
right
was
now.
like a 20-foot fall.
Next one, Florida man hides in chest, uses whiteboard to evade deputies.
I do remember this one.
Johnny Yates does not live here.
Yes. Oh, okay. He's not here.
Did he just get out like Pillsbury cream to like paint the windows?
Yeah, look at the used persimmon woods.
I know, old school.
I've got one of those in the bag. You remember?
I do.
Next one, Florida woman tries to bring 4-foot emotional support snake on plane.
I remember that. I don't know what we're looking at right there. What is that, Tyler?
Oh, that's TSA.
I guess that's
Yeah.
the TSA scan.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah. That's right.
All
I
right.
remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The snake was in her luggage.
Yeah, that's all she's got in there.
Yeah. I thought we were somehow trying to cover her up because she forgot her clothes or something. It looks like we were.
And finally, wanted Florida woman found hiding inside of a couch.
I think I remember that one.
That's like the brunette version of Tanya Harding.
No, you know what I remember about that is
She was sucking at hiding.
no. I remember me saying it was when Luke Skywalker hid in the Jar Jar Binks thing. You remember? In Star Wars,
The Tauntaun.
the Tauntaun thing. Yeah.
Cut himself open on the
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hoth. Yeah,
Hoth.
there you go.
Hoth.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite episodes.
Or movies.
Or movies. Yeah. That was the one where they try to beat the Empire, right, Lutz?
Well, the Empire Strikes. That's back.
Actually, the Empire had struck back.
That's Trash Today, brought to you by
Buying a home, major milestone in life. Getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with the friends at Mortgage Right, who do mortgages the right way. Locally owned and operated. Call today, 205-815-9200, or apply online, mortgageright.com/TNR, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
All right. One more segment to go where we hear from several folks getting ready for their big bowl games and playoff games coming up. That's coming up next right here on TNR.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter @RockstarBHM.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever?
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live daily show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali. There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons. This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbeham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
Back with you on the next round. Line them up, man. We're about to hear some sound after LT tells us about our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Tell us about Hemp Hill.
$69 tune-up right now when you mention the next round. When you call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services, 205. Why am I going blank on the Hemp Hill number? 229-2090, 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com. It's hard to stop a train. Call them today. Tell them the next round sent you.
All right, let's go cut 1. Jalen Milroe first. And we'll react to all these sound bites as we get ready for the big game. Of course, Alabama is now out there practicing in about an hour and a half, I think. We'll be on the practice field, maybe an hour. Jalen Milroe on a question LT asked about the similarities between Georgia and Michigan.
You just are coming off probably the best defense you've seen all year in Georgia. Are there similarities between the Michigan and the Georgia defenses?
I think they're different defenses. I think Georgia was more complex than Michigan is, but I think when we compare physicality, I think that's where you can compare them. You know, they're both physical. I think Michigan has a veteran defense who's been playing together for a long time. So I think that's just something that allowed them to be successful. It's just how well they play together. And then they, there's a multitude of things that they do on defense kind of differently than Georgia. But when it comes to competing, when it comes to physicality, when it comes to them being undefeated, there's a reason why they were undefeated, So that's where they can compare. But they're both good teams.
It does seem like when Alabama has struggled this year, it's been because of a strong playing defensive line on the other side. Alabama's offensive line has gotten a lot better, but I brought it up to Klatt earlier. The number of guys that look a lot like the other guys that are in there that play defensive line for Michigan, it's a pretty strong unit. There's no Aiden Hutchinson over there, but it's a strong unit with a lot of depth that could wear on the offensive line of Alabama. That's my biggest concern in this game.
Yeah, well, and I don't disagree with you. On the other side of that, though, the Michigan offensive line has been so good, but Zach Zenter, you heard Joel Klatt talk about the All-American guard, will not play in this game. Broke his fibula, his tibia in the Ohio State game, so that's a big loss. But to me, it comes down to this. Michigan doesn't turn the football over. And if they're able to force a couple of turnovers from Alabama, that's the only way they can win. They've got to be +2 in turnover margin.
Yeah, and if you missed Klatt earlier, he said you would have asked me for 12 weeks, I would have told you Michigan's the better team. But over the last couple of weeks, the primarily conference championship weekend and now leading up to this game, he's kind of flipped around. He's like, I think Alabama's the better team.
Would you guys give me this? If the lasting impression was we didn't have conference championship games, Michigan beating Ohio State, Alabama 4th and 31.
Oh, Michigan would be a 7.5 to 10-point favorite.
No, it would still be about the same, but don't you think
the
public
perception
would be much different?
I think the perception is different. That game against Iowa did not help in public perception for Michigan. For whatever that's worth, probably not very much. You saw Alabama go beat what everybody thought was the best team in the nation, Lance. And on the same night, you saw Michigan basically struggle to move the football against Iowa. And I know everybody's going to tell me this Iowa defense is amazing, and it is obviously really good, but it is alarming no matter how good that defense is.
No Chop Robinson for Penn State when they play Ole Miss, and not him on their defense could help Ole Miss score some points. Lane Kiffin in Atlanta gets asked a question about his recent contract extension that is likely to keep him at Ole Miss and make him well paid for a while.
I'm very grateful, to be hired here in the first place. 4 seasons ago, and to get an extension, which didn't change any financial part of the situation, just added length and commitment that this is where we want to be, and commitment from the university. And so, just really pleased to be part of that. Very grateful for our staff, for our leadership here, and our players, and they've done amazing, to win 10 games 2 of the last 3 seasons. Think of where it was when we got here and where it is now, and what's been going on in recruiting that'll lead into next year is really amazing just to be a part of, and excited to watch these guys play one more game.
So no added financials is the way he made it sound, just an extension on out. And the job that he's done in the portal, I mean, it's one thing to bring in guys who sort of are disgruntled from a program that maybe wasn't getting playing time. He's got guys coming in that were getting a lot of playing time, like Walter Nolan at Texas A&M. It's a dangerous team on paper next year. I think there's just concern of whether Lane Kiffin can manage a team through the course of an entire season.
Yeah.
Is he mature enough to do it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, can you – but, the good news is you don't really have to have a full body of work now.
The path to the play. I talked about that with Peter Burns yesterday in the Burnout, is that, you take Missouri and Ole Miss. I think they're good examples on this. When you were Ole Miss, you started the year knowing I've got to beat at least one of Alabama and LSU to win the West. I might have to beat them both. But I definitely got to beat one of the two. I can't lose to Alabama and LSU and win the West, right?
That's right.
You knew that going into every season. And then there was the random year where Auburn was the best team in the West. Now you got to worry about that. But you knew at the top, I got to worry about Alabama and LSU. And when you were Missouri, and I brought this up to Peter, like as a Missouri fan, walking out of Sanford Stadium on that Saturday, I'm bummed I didn't make Atlanta. That was the game I had to win to make Atlanta. But in the playoff world, you know what I'm thinking? I just went to Sanford Stadium and played toe-to-toe with Georgia. If I can do that, who's going to beat me?
Yeah, I'm going to be in. I'm going to be in the playoffs.
I'm in the playoffs, and hey, I got a chance to win some games. If I can go to Sanford Stadium and do this, who else, who am I really super worried about? So, it is a different world for teams like Missouri and Ole Miss. Because now if I'm an Ole Miss fan, yes, I still want to beat Alabama when I do play them. They don't even play them this coming year.
Yeah.
Alabama and LSU, but I don't necessarily have to do that.
I don't want to wish away this year, but I am looking forward to the 12-team playoffs. One team that is in this year's playoff arrived in New Orleans yesterday. That is Washington and Kalen DeBoer. And New Orleans can be an enticing place. Washington understands that, hey, a bowl trip, a playoff trip, they've been there before. It didn't go well when they played Alabama in Atlanta. Here's Kalen DeBoer about this group.
That's really, kind of the balance that I think our team has. We have this mature group of guys that has these lofty goals that weren't just set here those last couple of weeks, but all season long. And we've been able to balance having fun, enjoying being around each other, all season long, just with the work that it takes to prepare to be great on Saturdays or on game day. And I'm really proud of these guys for that, because they know that, hey, this is the time to work and this is the time to have fun. And so, I'd expect that business trip, that workman-like mentality to continue here on this trip here down in New Orleans.
You know what? Maybe the best decision that was made for this Washington team almost came 11 months ago to the day. Do you guys remember this storyline at all? Who was in Tuscaloosa on January 28th?
Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator. Yeah, and it looked like it was his job in Tuscaloosa.
You don't fly him to Tuscaloosa to just show him the campus.
Well, I think it was a difficult decision for Ryan Grubb, too, but I think his familiarity, the comfortable bond these two have.
8 years together.
Interesting.
At a lot of low places. What was it, Eastern Michigan, Fresno, and now Washington?
And I'll tell you what's interesting is that this job cycle passed without Ryan Grubb getting, to my knowledge, any good looks anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you think he's a pretty hot commodity?
Oh, yeah.
To be a head coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think Washington wins this game.
Yeah, you've been teetering on making this a solid prediction.
Yep.
So you're down now that Washington beats Texas.
Yep.
That is good. It's going to shock a lot of people.
One reason Ryan Grubb went back is Michael Penix Jr. was coming back. Here is Kalen DeBoer on Michael Penix Jr.
What has Michael Penix meant to your team this season?
Well, yeah, he came in 2 years ago, and I mean, there was expectations from my end. I knew what we had, and I knew we had a really good quarterback that. If he was in charge, we were going to be able to have one of the better ones in the country. And I think as time gone on, he's just really pushed himself to new levels. He does it on the field with his production. He's a relentless worker. He's really pushed hard to help himself be his best. And his leadership, I think, is probably one of the biggest areas where we've seen, as a team, him just really step out in front and not be afraid to put the team on his shoulders.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. has been worth the transfer from Indiana. I never thought he would do it, and I definitely didn't think he'd do it back-to-back years.
Yeah, I thought the outlier was the year he had in 19, I think it was 19 for Indiana. Played really well, and then he battled some injuries and was very inconsistent, and he's been nothing but consistent the last couple of years.
Yeah, can they protect him long enough to throw the ball down the field 20-plus yards?
Well, he's only taken 11 sacks all year. So he's a guy that, believe it or not, based on the deep ball he throws, he can scramble just enough, and he's got a quick release.
Again, I don't want to wish away the semifinals, but if you're correct and I'm correct, Washington plays Alabama. And you've got two All-American corners on that Alabama team. To see them go against Roma Dunze, who I know all the pub goes to Marvin Harrison.
Polk. I mean, they've got three legitimate receivers.
I know all the pub goes to Marvin Harrison. I think you feel like Dunze is the best receiver in the country, don't you?
I don't know about that. I think Harrison's probably a little bit better, but I think based on numbers, I think he's right there. And I think the collection of three receivers, they've got as good as anybody.
How quickly can you show me the total for mybookie.ag in that game, by the way? Bruce Feldman projects the final score, Washington 44, Texas 42.
That would be an over.
Yeah.
63.5 is the total right now.
He thinks it's going to be a shootout.
44.5, the Bama-Michigan total.
Bruce Feldman of The Athletic, who likes Washington, Michigan in the championship game. Feldman there from The Athletic. You can read all of his stuff there. We'll do another show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. It's our getaway day tomorrow. We're here tomorrow and then in Vegas the next day. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.